Welcome to the channel and welcome to this massive narrative game, The Devastation of Baal. Baal has been devastated, the home world, the home system of the Blood Angels. Tyranids infect the system from north to south, east to west. And Guilliman has arrived with the Unnumbered Sons, with Primaris reinforcements, and the fight back has begun. All across the surface, forward operating bases, installations have been set up to repel, to push back the Tyranid threat. And this is installation 212. It is manned by an entire demi-company of Blood Angels Primaris. They are led by Captain Alifio Barbuta, and he also has a vanguard of Death Company with them. They're currently locked underground in those bunkers there. And it's up to Barbuto, his demi-company, and the Death Company to push the Tyranid menace back. Quite simply, it's going to work like this. The Blood Angels will be able to deploy anywhere on the table. The Tyranid deployment is just at the edge of this battle grid, as if their tentacles and their claws are right here. In turn 1, the Tyranids will then move onto the table as if this is the front of their base. And remember, Gene Stealers can move, advance, and charge. So the Tyranid wave is about to crash against installation 212. And the Blood Angels, quite simply, must survive. There's about 3,000 points worth of Blood Angels. There's over 4,000 points worth of Tyranids about to come crashing in. If there are any Blood Angels alive on the table at the end of the game on this battle grid, then Barbuto would have succeeded in his mission and he will be relieved. Dante will send in reinforcements. 212 would have held, and they will dig in and hold this site. If the Blood Angels get wiped out by the swarms and swarms of Tyranids, then this asset will be lost. Barbuto would have failed in his mission, and 212 will be reduced to rubble under the claws and tentacles of the Tyranids. So, a survival mission on the very surface of Baal itself, an outnumbered, outmatched mission on the very surface of Baal itself. The Blood Angels simply need to survive. And leading the Blood Angels force is Warhipster. Say hi, Warhipster.
Hi, Warhipster.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much for having me.
It turns out that you only live down the road.
I do.
And you have your own YouTube channel.
I do.
You are a painter extraordinaire. And it's called Warhipster.
It is. www.youtube.com/warhipster for all your contrast plus painting needs.
Yes, so if I forget to link it, which is probably what I'll forget to do, then please remind me.
I will.
Because you're a friend of Quipster.
I am a friend of Quipster for my sins.
Quipster and Hipster. So you Warhipster, you do loads of good paint. You're also a commission painter. How do people get in contact with you for commission painting?
They can get in touch with me by emailing it's therealwarhipster@gmail.com, or you can just shoot me a message on Instagram, which is Warhipster.
So you're Warhipster on Instagram, Warhipster on YouTube, Warhipster in real life. Are you a hipster?
It's an ironic name, but also yes. You can't tell because of the mask, but I've got the beard.
You've got the beard.
I've got the love of, recycled goods and ironic t-shirts, so...
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, cool. Because Quipster's a bit of a hipster as well, isn't he?
He's way more than I am.
Yes, he does the cocoa vanilla latte with a shot of camel spit or whatever.
No, I don't do any of that.
No.
So, yeah, in fact, he should have my name and I should have his name, because arguably I'm funnier. But who knows?
So check out Warhipster on YouTube. Lots of glorious painting stuff on that. The contrast thing. What do you think of contrast?
I think it's the greatest tool ever invented for painting.
For painting, yes. Not necessarily the greatest tool ever.
No,
that
would be like the wheel or
the spanner or
something infinitely more useful.
1 minute, isn't the paintbrush the greatest tool ever invented for painting? So yes. After the paintbrush, what have the Romans ever done for us?
Exactly.
Well, the roads were terrible around here before they turned up. So you can deploy anywhere on the table.
Yeah.
Right, there is a thing though. You have a Vanguard of Death Company.
I do.
They are locked inside the installation, essentially underground, and they will not be deployed on the table in turn one.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be spilling out of these bunkers here, and you can pick which bunker, or indeed all three that they come out of.
Yeah.
You've agreed to this pain.
I have. Where others bring, technology to set their traps, we just bring bodies of people. That's what we do.
Yeah. So the Death Company will be raging out. The Demi Company will be deployed. The Tyranids will be spilling in from every single board edge we can. What's going to happen here is this is all difficult ground. If I go through sand or you go through sand, like running up a sand dune, you'll sink into it. This will slow down charges and slow down movement. But the only real cover is any of the obstacles, any of the barricades, all the light cover all over the map here. And there's lots of large line of sight blocking terrain here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, oh, and the only table edge that I can't come on is from that way. That is the Blood Angels lines as they're pushing out from the arcs and reclaiming Baal. I can come on from the other three table edges, right? That's what we agreed?
That is exactly what we agreed.
All we have to do is survive.
Yes.
Are you feeling confident?
I am feeling confident.
Brilliant. Let's go and have a look at these RBs. Right, this is way over 4,000 points worth of Tyranids. I think it's about 4,300. Mm-hmm. It's a dual battalion, which gives me, it's 18 minus 3, so 15? 15 command points to play with. Now, what I've done is I've not spent any additional CP before the game begins upgrading things here or there, because as soon as this game begins, I'll forget exactly what I spent my CP on. So I'm keeping it simple, keeping it safe. The only thing that I really have upgraded is the Winged Hive Tyrant has got chameleonic mutation, which is -1 to hit in the shooting phase, because that's my relic. And he's got, what's the thing? Synaptic linchpin, that's it, 18-inch synapse instead of a 12-inch synapse, because the way that Tyranids work is, so long as all the models are in synapse range, they don't have to take a leadership test. The will of the hive mind compels me. And I've got a chunk of warriors with a prime, and they're all synapse. The Broodlord with the gene stealers of the Broodlord synapse, the Zoanthrope and all the Neurothropes are synapse. Turvagon synapse, Hive Tyrant is synapse. And the other thing I did is I did give adrenal glands to everything that could take adrenal glands. So the Hive Tyrant, the Morlock, the Trigon, the Screamer Killers, for example, because that's easy to remember. I know what can take adrenal glands, and the Turvagon, and what can take them has got them. But no other upgrades here. And as you can see, we've got warriors, we've got pyrovores, we've got Hive Guard. I've got quite an amount of shooting in the backfield here. One of each Tyrannofex, one with a Rupture Cannon, one with Acid Spray, one with the Exocrine. Again, I could have given these guys Dermic Symbiosis or the, what's it called, Toxin Sacs, but no. One, it's cheeky, and two, just keep it simple. A bunch of Raveners. Everywhere you could be a Rending Claw as well. There are Rending Claws, Morlock, Trigon, Screamer Killers, Harrow Specs. The idea here is the Turvagon buffs the Turvagants. The Neurothrope buffs the Zoanthropes. The Broodlord buffs the Gene Stealers. The Tyranid Prime buffs the Warriors. There's all the synergy that you would expect in an Endless Swarm. And I wanted to get as many little bugs as I had medium bugs as I had big bugs. So it represents what you would potentially see on the battle grid. I didn't bring many flying creatures or spores dropping in, because the idea is that this is after the Unnumbered Suns have come in to reinforce Baal. So all the air power, I'm assuming that most of the air power and all the drop pods and the hive ships up in space, drop pods, spores up in space have all been wiped out. This is the cleansing of Baal, or the absolute death of Installation 212. We shall find out. So I brought a list that I thought would fit the narrative. There's psychic powers all across the line. We'll get to them in game. Let's go and have a look at the Blood Angels. And this is around 3,000 points worth of Blood Angels. Yep. We have a Demi Company, And that's the vanguard of Death Company. A Demi Company is 5 units of troops, and then you can add your elites, your heavies, or so there's 3 full squads of bolt rifle intercessors, 2 full squads of chainsaw wielding assault intercessors. And installation 212 is considered extremely important because Mephiston is stepping up and will be deploying here as well. But that's Captain
Barbuta.
And you have the 15 CP, but you've spent an extra 1 on Captain Barbuta as well. Would you like to talk us through your army?
Yes, I shall.
Go for it.
So, as you say, right, we spent the CP on the Captain Barbuta himself. This is to give him 2 Warlord traits.
Okay.
The Warlord trait that he has, without having paid for it, is Heroic Bearing, which adds 3 inch to his aura, and it also grants +1 leadership to everybody within that aura. So he is an absolute exemplar of the Unnumbered Sons.
Nice.
The CP, having spent to get the 2nd Warlord trait, is to give him Artisan of War, because he's obviously been painted with a lot of bling. He's got a lot of accessories.
Yeah.
And he is carrying an icon of the angel. So I wanted to give him the icon of the angel, but I also wanted to give him Adamantine Mantle.
Right.
So he gets a 5-up shrug.
Okay.
So he is the true exemplar of this host.
I like the fact that it's a 9-inch aura as well, shouting louder, digging in. That's good. It's nice. It's
nice, isn't it? Inspiring his troops from afar.
Yeah.
What we also have, as you say, is we've also got Chief Librarian Mephiston himself.
Yeah.
He is the attached psyker, probably the not quite warlord, but a close second. We also have a Judiciar who's yet to be named. He is effectively filling the role of the company champion, which we don't have a Primaris company champion just yet. So that's effectively the role he's going to be filling today.
Yeah.
We have a Primaris apothecary, and we have a Blade Guard ancient as well. Yeah. That's kind of the command staff. We also have back here, we have a lieutenant who's also yet to be named.
All right, okay.
And then we have the Blade Guard veterans. So the way I kind of see it,
let's grab the lieutenant.
Yeah, the way I see it is this is kind of like an old school command squad.
Yeah, I like it.
Because it's fun, right?
Yeah. Well, Captain, Lieutenant, Librarian.
Yeah.
You've got the Ancient. That isn't a Chief Apothecary because of narrative. It's a normal Apothecary.
Yeah.
And a Judicar. Yeah, I like it.
So there we go. That's the HQ of the battalion for those who want the game mechanics out there.
Yeah.
What we also then have said is we've got 3 battle line squads of intercessors. So this is the half of the company.
Yeah.
We have 1 unit with Stalker bolt rifles, which I can't tell which one it is. I think it's this one. Stalker bolt rifles, and then 2 normal bolt rifles.
Okay.
We've got 2 grenade launchers in each of these, and we don't in this because those are push-fit Space Marines.
Okay.
So
this dude's got a fist.
He does have a fist. So that is a veteran sergeant who
okay.
I like to use him in various different squads. So that's why he doesn't have a helmet on, so that I can put him wherever I like.
Well, like your sergeant over here. True sergeants don't wear helmets, right?
Because it's brave. And if they could carry shotguns, they would.
So you can see their face when they're so displeased and screaming at you.
Yes, exactly. They also like to look the enemy dead in the eye as they inform them about how much better they are at combat with them at the sharp end of a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we have. We have 2 assault intercessor squads.
Okay.
So what we also have is the Redempted Dreadnought. He has been named. He is Bellerophon.
Okay.
So he was once a mighty hero. Probably died or nearly died at some point on the crusade from Terra with the Unnumbered Sons, and has been interred in a Redempted Dreadnought. He is obviously very, very, very blingy with a couple of...
Well, he's an ancient. He's been around for a long time. Now, interestingly here as well, there aren't any big guns. You're going to have to do this with bolt gun and chainsword.
Indeed.
Despite the big bugs coming screaming down towards your line, you're going to have to go and cut their heads off.
Exactly. In my mind, the Hellblasters are dead, the aggressors are dead, the tanks have been destroyed. Any big guns, this has been going on for a little while.
Yeah.
And the Tyranids are smart. They've learned some things from the previous fights at the Arx Angelicum. They've realised that if you kill the big guns first, they have to do it with bolter and blade. So all that is left is bolter and blade.
Can I just point out as well that that's your choice, right? You do have Hellblasters and Aggressors and Eradicators, and you could have brought all of those guns along with you, but you chose not to.
I chose not to.
I didn't tell you to bring
Well, we said this is survival, so I thought, well, you're not going to survive with all of your big guns intact.
No.
What we're going to have is our pistol and our bolter and our chainsaw. That's
what I'm saying is you did this to yourself.
I did do this myself, and I do not regret it at all.
Stick to the narrative. It's glorious.
Absolutely.
Right. In the catacombs underground, making their way up to the surface,
we have the Death Company. We have 3 units of 10 Death Company, because we can't take them in units of 15 anymore. Boo! Yeah. That's the only thing I'm salty about with the new Blood Angels supplement.
The only thing?
The only thing.
That's good, because I've heard a bit more salt than that.
The rest of it, I love it. I think
okay.
It's really cool. But can't take them in 15-man squads anymore, which seems unnecessary. So what we have is we've got a unit basically all with bolt pistols and chainswords, and we've got 2 thunder hammers, and there should be an inferno pistol in there somewhere.
Yeah.
There it is. We then have another unit that's exactly the same. So 2 thunder hammers, 1 inferno pistol, all bolt pistol and chainsword.
Yeah. And
then back here we've got 2 power fists with inferno pistols, and then we've got some bolters because we can't take bolt gun and chainsword anymore.
No.
So with these guys, I modelled them to have the Mark III chainswords on the belt, rather than doing all the kind of shaving the hands off and all that kind of thing. So I can use them either, but they don't bring in bolt guns. Then what we have is the Death Company Chaplain, who is a firstborn chaplain. Right. Unfortunately, we can't give him death visions of Sanguinius anymore, so we can't make him a Death Company Chaplain.
He's just there to keep them in line.
But he's just there to keep them in line. He is leading these firstborn sons, who I'm believing, in my mind, they accompanied the Primaris, and then they've all fallen to the Black Rage. So he hasn't got the Black Rage, but he is guiding them. And the last thing that we have is the Sanguinor, who has come to protect the hope of the chapter for the future, that the Red Thirst and Black Rage might be cured, but as we all know, it probably isn't.
So he's come along because the Demi Company itself, the future of the chapter, is entirely at risk. Also, Mephiston is here. Mephiston is a relic in himself.
Yeah.
And so lots of things at stake here. I like the fact that all the firstborn have fallen.
Yeah.
Because this is after the Unnumbered Sons have come to relieve Baal. So war has been going on for some time. And these guys have got very, very, very angry. Yes.
Dante would not be pleased.
Dante would not be pleased. Maybe that's why he sent these guys away along with your new Primaris captain to guard the western marches 100 miles from the capital and see how these guys do.
Yeah, it's a high pressure work situation to determine how well they do under extreme pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just under 3,000 points, just over 3,000 points versus just over 4,000 points. And all I have to do, quite simply, is kill you.
Yes.
Utterly.
Yes.
Oh, 1 minute. We should mention Blood Angels.
Yep.
+1 to advance and charge, and +1 to wound in the fight phase.
Indeed.
And when the assault doctrine's in effect, so typically from turn 3 onwards, you get an extra attack.
We do.
When you charge. Kraken, 3d6 when I advance, pick the highest, and I can also fall back and charge. They're very quick. Captain Barbuta has deployed his Demi Company inside Installation 212. He has orders to defend this with his life against the Tyrannid push. The Void Shields are flickering overhead, and the Void Shields will last until the end of turn 1. They'll give all of the Blood Angels a 5-up invulnerable save to shooting attacks in the first turn only, and to shooting attacks only. But there are catacombs and ancient works and ancient engineering underneath this installation, and they're being attacked and assaulted by lictors. They're turning off all the switches and pulling out all the plugs, so the shields will collapse from turn 2 onwards. Also, the Death Company are inside these structures here, and from turn 2 onwards, you can deploy the Death Company. And you can deploy them from whatever one you want to, or indeed all 3. The way we're going to do it is It's as if they're getting out of a vehicle, so the hatches will slam open, they can disembark 3 inches, they can move their 6 inches, and then they can charge from there or from here right to the very edge of the battle grid, or from that one over there, or indeed all 3 of them mix and match, and whichever one you want them to come out of, they come out of. The chaplain is with them. The Sanguinor hasn't yet to appear. All the command squad are standing around, and the Tyranids, as I said, are right on the edges of the battle grid, ready to move on, and I automatically have first turn. This Denver company just needs to survive. If they're alive at the end of the game, then this site has been secured and will be relieved by Dante. He's got thousands of Space Marines and auxiliaries getting deployed to sites all across Baal. Is this one worth holding on to, or will it get overrun and destroyed, and will he leave you to your death and fate and ignominy? And of course, what?
No.
No.
We shall live!
I have the Morlock on the Trigon in reserve. They won't come on until turn 2, and the Winged Hive Tyrant zipping down from the sky after dueling with aerial fighters. So there is no seizing, there is no roll off to see who goes first. I go first. Are you ready?
I am.
Are you ready to defend this site?
We are.
Let's
By the blood.
Let's go on to Tyranids, turn 1. Here we are after the Tyranids movement phase. The swarm. Swarms onto the table. Ravenous here. Tervagon with her Tervagants are down here. And then most of the forces have come on this flank. This is closer to our lines. It does mean that the Blood Angels will have to shift their focus down this way, and perhaps some of their response will be redundant in the first turn, at least until they unleash the first company. We're going on to the psychic phase. This Broodlord has Synaptic Lure, and there's some Gene Stealers here. Because they'll be going over a barricade, they will count as -2 to their charges. So that's an 8-inch charge. But if I manage to get Synaptic Lure off on that unit, I can reroll my charges. And I need a 6, and that's a pass. And we're outside of a 5, actually, and that's a pass, and you're outside of denial range. The reason why this squad is so far forward as well is because I spent a CP on Opportunistic Advance, which is a Kraken-specific stratagem, which allows them to double the range of their advance. So I should manage to get a first turn charge off here. The Raveners have got a really long bomb charge round here as well. And they're backed up by some Pyrovores that are out of range. The other things I want to do are Catalyst on my Neurothropes. And that passes. And these guys you are in range of.
Just out, I think.
Are they? Okay. Yeah. I want to Smite. That fails, but I can re-roll 1s because there's a Neurothrope there. And that passes. And their Smite is D3 plus 3. For 4 mortal wounds. 4 mortal wounds on that squad.
That is 2 dead Heroes of the Angel.
Heroes of the Angel. Taking from that side to make my charge even longer.
I am. There's some tactics. Some tactics going on.
Let's Psychic Scream. That fails, but I can reroll the 1. That fails. And then this, she has Onslaught and she has Smite. I advanced. If I Onslaught that Carnifex, it should be able to charge as well. So let's Onslaught the Carnifex. And that works. So the Carnifex can charge.
I want to deny this.
Oh, you want to try and deny that? Okay, good luck. With Mephiston. Negative. That's the end of the psychic phase. So Psychic Might washes out against the Sons of Sanguinius lines. Hopefully I should be able to get a couple of first turn charges here before they get the full response. Now we're going on to the shooting phase. Pyrovores are out of range. We're going to make our way around and around and around to the Hive Guard. Right, the Hive Guard are going to target this unit of Assault Intercessors here. You spent 2 CP on Transhuman Physiology.
I have.
They are heavy weapons, so it's forced to hit. Strength 8, but because of Transhuman, I need 4s or higher to wound, and I get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds come through. Transhuman kicking in a couple of times there. 4, 5 up saves, sir.
Hit.
And you save
I get
3 of them. Wow. D3 damage on the 1 that remains only does 1 wound. So a blizzard of Impaler cannon shots come out and doesn't kill any. So moving down the line to the unit of warriors. I don't want to shoot at these guys to make the charge even longer. Mind you, I've got the counter charge from the current Screamer Killer as well. I don't want to shoot at them, but the only thing the warriors can shoot at with their Death Spitters are them or the ones that you've transhumaned. But they do have a lot of shots. No, let's keep... I've started, so I'll finish. I'll shoot at the Assault Intercessors. There is 2 Venom Cannons in this squad of 6, which have D3 shots each for 4 shots. Now, normally I would be hitting on 4s, but I'm hitting on 3s because there's a Tyrannid Prime within 6 inches of that unit. So 3s to hit with the Venom Cannons. And it is strength 8, but you have transhuman, so 4s to wound. 2 wounds, 2 more 5-up saves, sir.
5-up save. We don't make either of those.
Okay, so it's D3 and D3. The first D3 will wipe him out, and the second D3 will take out a second Intercessor. Getting down and having a look, I have no more shots that can actually see that unit there. And I didn't declare this squad here as a target of the attack, so I've wasted the rest of my shots. The mistakes were made. There's a lot to remember. Talking about things remembering, this squad are in range of the banner.
They are.
So you have a potential chance of shooting back again.
I do. So it's...
4s? No.
Yeah.
Moving further down the line, this unit of 3 warriors with the Death Spitter can see this unit here. They're the only ones that they can see and are in range of. They're hitting on 3s because the Prime is nearby. And they're strength 5, so they're wounding on 3s. 4 AP -1.
So because of the shields, +1, so 3s.
No, sorry, not the Blade Guard, that squad.
That squad. Okay, so 4-ups. I make them all.
Oh. Then the Prime fired into that squad and wound twice, 2 more 4-up saves. And they make those saves as well. This shooting phase was supposed to be more powerful. Talking about more powerful then, we're going to keep moving along the line and do the Tyrannofex with its Rupture Cannon, threading the needle down, and it's going to hit those Blade Guard vets there. If it stayed still, it would be able to fire twice, but because it moved, it only can fire once. I say only once. These are strength 10 shots. And they hit on 4s, and I get 2 hits, so I'll be wounding on 2s, and I wound. You need to make your 4-up invulnerable saves on the Blade Guard vets.
Easy. That's what we're going to do. 2 4-ups. I make 1 4-up.
Okay, is D6 damage. Would you like the command point at all? Or are you happy with that?
I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Can't tell you why.
1 Blade Guard veteran gets cut down. Then we're on to the next Tyrannofex, and the only thing in range is this unit of Intercessors right in front with its acid spray, but it auto hits 7 times. Strength 7 wounded on 3s. 4 4-up saves.
I make 2.
Make 2 this time. D3 damage a time, 1 falls. Another 1 falls. So this thing breathes in and boom. A volley of acid splashes across the Blood Angels lines, and only the sergeant is left there. Is that the sergeant? Is you combat squadded?
Combat squadded. The sergeant.
Sergeant's over there.
Over here, yeah.
Bravely holding the back lines.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 1 veteran stood there looking out. His brother's melting around him. We're going to come on to Screamer Killer's bioplasmic rattle from the first Screamer Killer. We'll spit it out at this guy for D6 shots. For 2 shots, but it's an assault weapon and an advance, so I need 5s to hit.
Yeah.
And it's strength 7, and it's AP -3, 1 damage. So
okay.
2 6-up, a 5-up invulnerable saves because it's shooting through the shield dome.
Will he survive? He will not.
He will not survive. He gets cut down. That's the first of the Blood Angel squads to fall. The second Screamer Killer will be out of range. And then we're coming across the Exocrine, and I'm going to spend 2 CP on Pathogenic Slime to get its damage up from 2 to 3. Now, if it stayed still, it could shoot twice, 12 shots, and it would hit on 3s. But because it moved, it's hitting on 4s. It's shooting at the Ancient Brother, the Dreadnought. 4s to hit. Only 3 hits. It's strength 7 versus toughness 7. I need 4s to wound. 2 wounds at -3, but you have a 5-up save as it hits the shield.
5-ups? I don't make either of those.
And instead of 2 damage, it does 3 damage each. But because you're an unyielding ancient, that goes back down to 2 damage each.
So it takes 4.
Yes. 9 left. That's the end of the shooting phase. There was a couple more incidental shots firing out from the Tyrannid lines, a few stinger salvos, things like that, but no more casualties amongst the Blood Angels. They have lost a squad, which I won't be able to charge now, which means my Gene Stealers are somewhat exposed, and the first Screamer Killer is somewhat exposed. I didn't think that through. The Hive Mind are hungry, but the Raveners will try and charge this squad here. The Sons of Baal fired Overwatch, causing no damage on the Raveners. Because I'm clambering over this barricade here, it is a 9-inch charge. And I make the charge. Here we end up before piling in. And I'd like to pile in there, but I can't because barricades are unstable positions. You can't stand on top of them. I can't fit a whole base there, which means I only have 3 Raveners that can assault. This guy is more than half inch away from a unit that's in assault. But I'm thinking 3 Raveners might be enough. 4 attacks each with Rending Claws, hitting on 3s. 3 Raveners might not be enough. Strength 4 versus toughness 4. Looking for 6s really. I don't get any 6s because 6s would have just burned straight through your armor at AP -4. In the end, I only get 4 wounds at -1.
So 4 up save.
Yeah. The Blood Angels pile in. These are the regular attacks from the Intercessors, hitting on 3s. That was bad.
That's not great.
And they wound on 4s. 7 wounds, and Raveners only have a 5 up save. But they do have 3 wounds each. And you didn't kill one yet either. But the Sergeant's got a chainsword, right?
Yep, so he will have 2 Sergeant, Shock Assault, chainsword.
Right, 5 attacks. Nice. He hits on 3s.
He hits on 3s.
And he hits twice. He will wound on 3s, being a Blood Angel. I think we got it wrong last time.
We did, but I think it was 1s and 2s. 2 wounds.
2 wounds at -1. One of the Raveners falls. And I can't assault anywhere else. And interestingly enough, that's the end of Tyrannid's turn 1. And interestingly enough, these guys are outside of Synapse range and their leadership is only 5. And I fail. And another one flees. And so on 1s and 2s, another Ravener will flee. No, sorry, 1s, another one will flee. 1s and 2s if I were less than half strength. So I've lost 2 Raveners. You've had one of your Intercessors injured. And that's it. You have no further morale to take across the line. That first turn could have been much more painful. Let's find out how the Blood Angels respond in turn 1. And here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase. A couple of CPs being spent already. The entire army shifts to the right to deal with the threat from the Tyrannids. The Apothecaries ran round and for 1 CP for combat revival has healed one of the Blade Guard veterans and he's returned to the fight. And also this unit of Assault Intercessors have spent a couple of CP on adaptive strategy. Because currently the Devastator Doctrine is in effect. So this unit, until the start of the next command phase, counts as having all the Assault Doctrine, Devastator Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, all in effect. They are front and center. And it's good because it lasts until the next command phase as well. So when they charge, the Assault Doctrine's in effect. And if they get charged, it counts when I hit you too. The Dreadnoughts move round this way, blocking line of sight to the Tyrannifex. And also blocking line of sight to the Exocrine as well. He's bringing his guns to bear, spraying right and left, but he's an ancient for a reason. He knows how to duck and cover, even though he is a chonky lad. That unit has stepped back because the Harrow specs can't, that's unstable ground. It can't end its move on it. It'll have to park in front and then charge over. And those spikes will slow down the Harrow specs charge, so it's unlikely to go crashing into them. So the Blood Angels digging in, moving around, getting prepared to shoot. Meanwhile, Mephiston draws upon the powers of the warp. And what spells would you like to cast, sir?
I'm going to do Unleash Rage.
Yes.
And I'm going to do it on these guys.
Oh, the ones without adaptive strategy.
Yes. Okay. So I figure because there's less of them, we're going to get the 6s from them. They're going to sacrifice themselves over here anyway. So rather than put all my eggs in one basket, we're going to do it on these guys.
Nice, I like it.
So I believe...
It's 6, I think.
It's a 6, yeah. So here we go.
We need to check now. Is it a 5 or a 6?
We do need to check.
That's a failed cast, so spending a CP to re-roll.
In fact, we'll curse dice. We use these ones.
Right, okay. And that's a failed cast. Unleash Rage does not work. The Tyrannid Hive Mind suppressing it here. Quickening on Mephiston.
Yeah. That also doesn't work.
Okay. The Hive Mind is definitely suppressing his powers. Right, shooting phase. We have Stalker Pattern Bolt Rifles firing down at the Pyrovores.
Yep.
You are in Captain Babuta's Heroic Bearing Reroll Aura range. So, 3s to hit.
Yeah.
And he can reroll the 1. And Stalker Pattern Bolt Rifles are Strength 4 versus Toughness 4. So you're wounding on 4s. Oh, 1 hit the floor. There's a wound. Just one wound. Now it's AP -3 because the Devastator Doctrine is in effect. So it cuts straight through the armor and does a flat 2 damage to a Pyrovore. But they start with 4. Stalkers. Back to more Stalkers in the tower, firing down at the Exocrine, hitting on 3s. And you're wounding this guy on 5. So that's 3 hits there. No wounds. After that squad fired, this squad fired in at the Haruspecs and did no damage. We're now across to these guys with their auto bolt rifles. They're firing at the Exocrine, and there's a grenade launcher in there as well.
So we'll do the grenade launcher first.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s.
With a crack grenade. That hits, wounding on a 5.
No.
Doesn't wound. Then 8 shots with the bolt rifles. 3s to hit, and that was bad shooting. And 5s to wound.
Got 2 wounds.
2 wounds. AP -1. 4s. Take a wound off the Exocrine.
Yes.
That's the shots for this flank. We're moving on to these assault intercessors. They're firing over their shoulders at the Ravenous.
Yeah.
There's a plasma pistol in there. Are you overcooking it, sir?
I'm not going to overcook it.
Why? You're in reroll range. The captain there. It's desperate stuff.
1, followed by a 1.
That will never happen.
I'm using my gift of foresight to suggest that it will be a 1 followed by a 1.
Okay.
Okay. So
these are the heavy bolt pistols?
Heavy bolt pistols going first.
3s. Rerolling the 1s. Nice. Everything hits. And then 4s to wound. That's a lot of wounds. Is that 5?
That is 5 wounds at -1.
6 to save. You actually kill a Ravener. They explode. And then the plasma pistol.
Plasma pistol. It is a hit.
It hits. It wounds. I don't get a save. 1 is injured. Now the Blade Guard vets are firing in on 3s. 2 hits and 4s to wound. No wounds.
No wounds.
Now the Apothecary with his Absolver bolt pistol.
He hits.
Okay. He doesn't wound.
He does not wound.
Now we're moving on to these assault intercessors. They're firing out into the Neurothropes. Or Zoanthropes, sorry. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Rerolling 1s and wounding on 4s. And that's 4 wounds? 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
5 3-up saves.
These will be -2.
But I have a 3-up and vulnerable save.
You
so
do.
Shield flickers. So the captain's going to have a go at the same target. He'll hit on a 3 because it's a Stalker Pattern Bolt Rifle thingy bob. It's heavy.
Here we go.
Yes. Mastercrafted 1. He hits. He'll wound on a 4. He wounds. Now, interestingly, this is a damage 3 weapon. I need to make a 3-up and vulnerable save, which I make, because they have 3 wounds each.
Yeah.
So he could potentially one-shot 1. There was some more incidental firepower, but no damage caused. Now we're on to Ancient Bellerophon. Bellerophon?
Bellerophon, yeah.
And he's picking on the Zoanthropes down here. Now, interestingly enough, he's in reroll to hit range and reroll to wound range. We're doing the Onslaught Gatling Cannon and Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon all at the same time, even though the strength is different, because all the hits and wounds are the same. So 20 shots in total, hitting on 3s, and the gun makes a noise like this. Buzz! After rerolling 15 hits, now 3s to wound, and rerolling any 1s. I see a couple of 1s. So the Dreadnought put 13 wounds on the Zoanthropes, and they have a 3-up and vulnerable save. War Hipster. I failed 4.
4.
4.
A mighty 4.
And they have catalyst on them as well.
That's
I said
nice.
catalyst on the neuro, I meant zone. Yeah. So they ignore these on 5s. Oh, only ignore 1. They have 3 wounds each. You kill 1.
Yes.
You've got an Icarus pod.
I do, and some storm bolters.
D3 shots with the Icarus storm pod thing.
For 3.
3. Nice. Because they're the fly keyword. You're hitting them on 2s.
2s.
And rerolling 1s. Not that you need it. Wounding them on 3s. And rerolling the 1s. Okay, 1 wound. 3 open vulnerable save. I make that. Stormbolt has caused a wound, and I make that save as well. And that's the end of the shooting phase. The Sons of Sanguinius have not killed very much. A Zoanthrope, a couple of Ravenous, not very much at all. However, it is in the fight phase in which they shine. So we're going to have some charges coming on. Who's charging what, sir?
So the Blade Guard are going to be charging here.
Okay, I don't have any Overwatch. Let's see how far they get, and they should make short work of those Ravenous.
So because of Icon of the Angel, they can re-roll this if this goes really bad.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't go really bad.
It doesn't go really
bad.
bad.
That is a 7 plus 1 because of Blood Angels. So
Yes.
they're going 8, which means they're definitely in.
The Blade Guard get there now with the Assault Intercessors. -2 for the Barricade, +1 for Blood Angels. It's only a 4-inch charge. They're going into the Gene Stealers.
Again, mighty 9.
9. The Assault Intercessors get here. Now we're on to Assault Intercessor Unit number 2. This is going to be a 7 because of all the pluses and the minuses. Yep, good luck.
Re-rollable because of the Icon of the Angel.
And that's a 7.
It's exactly what I needed.
They're in anyway. And the last unit of Assault Intercessors make it here against the Carnifex. So we have 3 assaults across the line. Now the problem for War Hipster, of course, is deciding who gets to strike first, because I have many CPs and I can interrupt. These guys have got Storm Shields, so they should be relatively safe. The Blade Guard. Where do you want to start? Which unit of Assault Intercessors? Or do you want to start with the Blade Guard?
I do not.
No.
I wish to start with these guys.
Right.
Because I wish to kill those Gene Stealers before they kill me.
I guess Gene Stealers have a bajillion attacks anyway, and that Screamer Killer only has 5 attacks. So, okay, many attacks coming in here. You're in 9-inch reroll 1 to hit range because of the heroic bearing of your captain. You're right there.
I am.
How many attacks?
33.
Hitting on 3s.
Rerolling 1s.
After the reroll, that was 26 hits. Strength 4 versus Toughness 4 would be on 4s, but you're a Blood Angel. You're winning on 3s.
Yes.
Dude, that was 20.
20.
20 wounds. 25 up in vulnerable saves as I dodge right and dodge left. There's a unit of 15 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You wiped the squad in 1 hit. I mean, wow. They charged an entire squad of Tyranid Gene Stealers and wiped them out in 1 hit. Now I'm going to pay 2 CP to interrupt with my Screamer Killer. I have 5 attacks. And I'm hitting on 4s because you charge me. If I charge you, I hit on 3s. Oh, I hit 4 times.
Nice.
Strength 7 though, so I'm wounding on 3s. Oh.
That's nice.
And it's AP -3 damage. I was thinking about spending another CP on Voracious Appetite to reroll wound rolls, but I didn't want to spend 3 CP killing some dudes. I thought 2 would be enough. Anyway,
it wasn't enough.
1 6-up save, sir.
1 6-up save. I'm going to do this now.
Okay.
For Sanguinius.
Okay.
I'm not going to do this.
No, you don't do it. I'd kill 1, and then you get to pile in and fight. So they pile in. It looks like this. You've kept 1 trailing so he can listen to the order shouted out from your captain.
Yeah.
There's a sergeant there with a power fist. So you got 3 attacks, +1 for shock assault, and +1 for adaptive strategy.
This is why we did this.
Because your counter's in the assault phase. So you hit on 4s with your power fist.
We'll do it.
And you're rerolling 1s.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, we do get 3 hits.
Right, brilliant. Strength 8 versus Toughness 7. Winning on 3s normally, but 2s because you're a Blood Angel.
2s. We get 2 wounds.
2 wounds. AP -4. 2 damage a pop because you count as though you're in the Assault Doctrine. So I've got 4 wounds left.
Yes.
And now you've got to hit me with a bajillion other attacks. Right, 40 attacks because it counted as though the Assault Doctrine was active. Hitting on 3s, rerolling. Wounding on 4s. AP minus this many. This many wounds came through. Yeah, the Carnifex is dead.
Yes.
At the end of the combat, it looks like this. Now we're coming back to the last combat, which is the Blade Guard veterans assaulting the Ravenous. 13 attacks in total.
I think it's more.
Well, it's 3 attacks each plus shock assault.
Yeah, so
that's 12 plus 1 for the sergeant. 13. It's like 16 in turn 3 onwards.
Yes, you are correct.
They're hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
If the Ancient was nearby, you reroll them once, they'd be hitting on 2s.
Yes.
That Blade Guard Ancient. Cool. And your Strength 5 versus Toughness 4. So would be winning on 3s, but you're winning on 2s because you're a Blood Angel. And each of these is AP -3, 2 damage. So I don't get a save. And that kills one Ravener, another Ravener, another Ravener. You would have killed many Raveners. They're all dead. Then the Blade Guard veterans step forward, create a shield wall, ready to take on the second wave of Tyranids that are about to crash in. And that is the end of Blood Angels turn 1. The first turn for the Tyranids was not that successful. But, and the first turn for the Blood Angels was, you've managed to kill every unit that you chose to assault. A unit of Gene Stealers wiped out, a Carnifex wiped out, and the Raveners wiped out. But in doing so, you've extended beyond the footprint of Installation 2, 1, 2. And that means the second wave of the Tyranids is right there, is right in front of you, is about to crash over the Blood Angels lines. Here we are after the end of the Tyranids movement phase, and that took a while, and I've kept my Trigon still in reserve because the hive mind is aware that there is still more meat underground. And the meat indeed is dressed in black and calls itself the Death Company and can disembark from any of these. The hatches will blow open and potentially charge anything next to any of these structures in turn 2. So the counter charge from the Death Company, potentially in turn 2 or turn 3, could be absolutely brutal. So I need this turn to be brutal as well. So I've kept my Trigon back to counter charge your counter charge. That's tactics, that is. Meanwhile, there's been some advancing around here. I've advanced with the Raveners as well, and this squad. But the Exocrine stood still so it can fire twice. The Tyrannofex has stayed still so it can fire twice. My Neurothrope has fallen over. The Tyrannofex here has stayed still so it can fire twice, and there is a swarm of warriors and Gene Stealers and Broodlords about to descend upon these assault Intercessors here. I did drop in my Winged Hive Tyrant here, not that he's going to do very much except for psychic shenanigans, but he can move a long way. So next turn he could hop up and over. I couldn't actually put them anywhere because you overextended here. That did put my deep strike back. You have to deploy more than 9 inches away from the enemy. So it did limit the number of deployment options I had. The Pyrovores have moved round because they have assault weapons and they can flame on. And a Morlock has appeared in the middle of your lines. As soon as he appears, we roll for him. So let's roll for the Lieutenant, Terror from the Deep. And on a 1, nothing happens. And on a 4, it's D3 mortal wounds on your Lieutenant. And then on the Intercessors, and on a 2, it's just 1 mortal wound on the Intercessors. The Morlock can't charge on the turn that it does this. That's the end of those shenanigans. Now we're on to the Psychic phase. Let's start off with the Hive Tyrant here. He's going to cast the Horror on this squad. I need a 6. And I perils. So let's command point reroll that. And I fail, but at least I don't take D3 mortal wounds. The Horror would have made that unit -1 to hit. His second power, he will smite. I need a 5. And that passes. Not denying this power, this will do D3 mortal wounds to the Assault Intercessors for 3. Across the Broodlord, it can do the Lure or Smite. I don't need the Lure, you're right there. So let's Smite. And that fails. And I've already spent a CP to reroll in the Psychic phase. We're coming around here. The Zoanthropes will smite. 5, 6. This is a 7 now. That passes. And wow. It is D3. Well, you killed one actually. So instead of D3 plus 3, this is 2 D3 mortal wounds instead. For only 2 mortal wounds.
I'm okay with it.
Its next power is Psychic Scream, which passes on a 6. on a 7, and this does an extra D3 mortal wounds for 1 more mortal wound. So the smite bomb there had a potential to do up to 9 mortal wounds. I did 3. The Neurothrope will cast Catalyst on this squad again. I really want to keep them alive.
I shall deny.
They're a key unit. So Catalyst, I need a 6. I can re-roll 1s. I do pass on a 7. You need an 8 to deny this, sir.
Jefferson is going to now power up, having failed dismally.
Negative.
That is a negative.
Catalyst goes off. And next, he smites. And 5, 6, 7, I need an 8. That fails, so let's re-roll that 1. That passes, and it's a super smite, isn't it? More than 10?
On 11 it would be, yeah.
Yeah, I think I got a super smite earlier. Super smite, D6. For 6 mortal wounds!
There it is.
Alright, it's working. It's working. I've killed a few. Coming around here to my last Psyker. I want to cast Onslaught on the Raveners because I advanced them, so they can't charge. But I want to charge up there. I need it's -2 to charge. I just need to be below this installation, this bunker, because of 5-inch up vertical engagement. But right now I'm not in engagement range. I just need to get forward a little bit. To get forward a little bit, I need Onslaught. Onslaught allows me to charge after advancing. I pass Onslaught and Perils. So this Psyker takes D3 mortal wounds for 1 mortal wound. Now we go on to the shooting phase. The Haruspex Grasping Tongue did nothing. This unit that advanced, hitting on 5s, and only a few could see and shoot, and the guys up here had a 2-up save. They did nothing as well. But now we're on to the Exocrine, and he's got 12 shots. And he has range and line of sight to the Stalker Pattern Bolt Rifle Intercessors back there. And because he stayed still, he's hitting on 3s this time. And wounding on 3s. 5 wounds, and they're in light cover, so they have a 5-up save. But every failed save is a dead Intercessor.
So 5/5s, it's easy.
There's 2 left there. Then a Stinger Salvo erupted out from the Tervagon. Did no wounds up here. Now we're coming across to the Tervagants, unloading everything into the Assault Intercessors. There's 30 little bugs here. They hit on 4s, but they re-roll 1s because she's right nearby. With the re-rolls, I only got 13 hits. I'm wounding on 4s, but because the unit is more than 20, I also re-roll wound rolls of 1. The synergy coming together here to do a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds out of 30. And it's AP dash, so 5 3-up saves. But 1 is on 1 wound.
And he dies.
That could have been better. Let's do the Bioplasmic Scream from the Screamer Killer for 2 shots, which hit on 4s and wound on 3s at AP -3, 1 damage. So 2 6-up saves on the Assault Intercessors. Another one dies. See, now I've got the Tranifex. And the Tranifex can fire twice because it stayed still. But the Carnifex should be able to kill them. So do I really need to shoot them? No is the answer.
Or
But what?
you could shoot them.
Yes.
Or just not fire at all.
I could not fire at all. But he's hungry. He wants to melt stuff, turn it into sludge so he can suck it up through his feeder. He likes soup. Suck it up, have a nice soup.
By all means then, shoot something, turn it into soup. I wouldn't want it to go hungry.
I think, though, because the Carnifex has got this, I'm out of range of those guys. I could shoot at them and then whittle a bunch of them away, and then the Gene Stealers have definitely got this, which means the Warriors can fire past them, right? So yeah, shooting at them. Shooting at them is a thing. I stayed still, so instead of 2d6, it's 4d6 auto hits with acid. Right, so transhuman. You did transhuman, you're doing transhuman.
Yes.
Yes, you said,
Yes.
Would you mind? Because I ran through that very quickly. I don't mind, you can spend 2 CP on transhuman. So instead of winning you on 3s, I'm winning you on 4s.
This may make all the difference, it may not.
It saves you 5 times. Look, there's 5 3s.
It made the difference.
But those are AP -1 D3 damage a time, and that's a lot of those.
Yes.
11 4-up saves. 1 is already injured on 1 wound, so 1 falls, and then it's D3 a time. 5 get through, so 1's gone, and then D3, D3, D3. Okay, so in the end, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 go. looks like this. Then the T-Fex actually gets to fire his Stinger Salvo twice as well, which hits on 4s because he stood still, and wounds on 3s. Oh no, 4. 2 more wounds at -1. Two more wounds at -1. Stingers coming in hot. And
I don't make either of those.
Another one bites the dust. Now we're across to this Tyrannofex, which is firing its Stinger Salvo twice into this squad here. And it's Rupture Cannon. Now your characters aren't within 3 inches of... Well, that one is within 3 inches of them.
Yes.
But your captain certainly isn't within 3 inches.
He is not.
No, so I can fire at him.
You can.
So the hive mind detects the intelligence leading this operation and will fire many shots straight down into your captain. But first, Stinger Salvo this way on 4s, 5 hits and 3s. 4 wounds on this squad of Intercessors here at -1. I'm making these Space Marines dance as I fill them with lead. Not lead,
1.
but yes, that's 1 dead. Hard alien rounds patter off the armor. The assault Intercessors are getting cut down. And now, Rupture Cannon shot straight into your captain. I'm hitting him on 4s. 3 hits. That's perfectly statistically average. I'm strength 10. Oh, let's command point that. I wound him twice at AP -3, D6 damage a time. It's Iron Halo time.
It's Iron Halo time.
Iron Halo time.
I need 2 4s here.
You do.
Or he's definitely dead. Ish.
Ish, maybe.
I don't make either of those.
Command point rerolls are a thing.
Yeah, they are. We'll command point reroll one of those.
Okay, good luck.
No.
No. So I've spent a CP reroll, you've spent a CP reroll, so I can't reroll my damage. 2d6 damage. For 7 damage, he has 6 wounds and a 5-up shrug. Because of his warlord thing? What was it?
Because of the adamantine mantle.
Adamantium, that thing.
Yes.
So 7, 5 up. Does the mantle keep him safe? Or does your captain die? Oh, 1 hit the floor. You saved 2. He's on 1 wound.
He lives.
He's on 1 wound left, and interestingly, he stood right next to an apothecary that can heal him next turn.
He is.
And say, here, have some sweeties. This will make you feel better. I tried to one-shot your captain. I tried. But the target number 1 for me, honestly, is the Dreadnought. It is mean, and my T-Fex could not see the Dreadnought. So you can breathe a sigh of relief for your captain, because all the rest of these guns really need to take that Ancient down. It's the biggest threat against my assault push. So let's start off with the unit of warriors here. This unit fired in with Death Spitters causing 1 wound. This unit fired in with its Death Spitters causing another wound. The second unit though has Venom Cannons, which are D3 shots each. For only 3 shots. Which will hit on 3s. Oh, I hit every 3 times. Look at that. Target acquired. And I wound on 3s because the Venom Cannons are strength 8. I wound twice. Now these are AP -2 this time. So 2 5-up saves.
2 5-up saves. I don't make either of those either.
Each of these does D3 damage. So that 4 becomes a 1. That 3 becomes a 2. That is in total 3 more damage on your Dreadnought. How much have I taken off of it now? It's down to 5.
Yes.
Okay, so I have nerfed it. I've got it down to 5 wounds remaining with the warriors. Now the Hive Guard can unleash their Impaler Cannons. On 3s. And strength 8, we're wounding on 3s. Causing 7 wounds to your Dreadnought. 7 5-up saves. These are Javelins of Doom with explosive tips. And each of these does D3 damage. It's got 5 wounds left. So even if I rolled a bunch of 1s,
yes,
that's a dead Dreadnought.
Yes, it is.
Does it blow up in your lines? No. Ancient Balafor?
Bellerophon.
Just crumples. I'm sure they'll recover his sarcophagus. That is, if anyone survives
So long, my
this
friend.
day. The last thing I have left to fire is the Pyrovores. Now I'm going to fire past the Blade Guard veterans into these Assault Intercessors here. The reason why I'm doing that is I don't think I can kill the Blade Guard veterans in 1 round of shots. And I'm on camera, I'll say it, I'm kind of trying to draw them forward so the warriors can countercharge them. Or maybe the Hive Tyrant could countercharge them. Let's take out the Assault Intercessors as well, the Intercessors. Also, they'll have a 4-up save, and the Blade Guard will have a 3-up save against these flaming attacks. But I only hit 4 times. At strength 5, I wound 3 times, AP -1, 1 damage. So 3 4-up saves. And I tickle 4-up saves. I do tickle 1. I do kill 1 because it's AP -1.
AP -1 +1?
No, against them, the Intercessors, not the Blade.
Yes.
And that is the end of my shooting and psychic phase. This time, certainly a lot more successful than last time. I mean, you've got 2 units of 2 Assault Intercessors left. I've removed the Ancient Dreadnought, and I've done wounds to the Captain. Now we're going to charge. These Gene Stealers are going to jump on these Assault Intercessors here, and they're going to go 6 inches. I'm assuming you don't want to overwatch with 2 heavy bolt pistols.
I do not wish to do that now.
The Carnifex is going to attempt to charge these guys around here. And it's going 10. The Carnifex ends there. The Gene Stealers end there, surrounding their quarry. Now we come across to the Raveners, who are going to attempt to charge this unit up here. It's -2 to their charge, but they'll still make it in. And the Raveners get there. Now the Harrowspects, which didn't advance, it's -2 over this thing. Needs a 10. And he will fail the charge. That's it for the charges. 3 what? I see you, what?
I have some shenanigans I'd like to pull.
Shenanigans? No, we go into the charge phase and loads of Blood Angels die. That's how this works.
No.
No?
Not so. Not so, my friend. Because we have some heroic interventions to happen.
Are there? There's no one's in range to heroic.
Well, you see, hope has been kindled.
Hope?
Yeah.
There is no hope.
There is hope. When the Sangrenor is around...
Okay.
So the Sangrenor can now heroically intervene out of Deep Strike into a unit that is within engagement range of one of my units.
In my charge phase?
In your charge phase.
Wow. And so the situation is dire after so many Blood Angels have fallen. Barbuta, Captain Barbuta himself nearly fell. Mephiston is under threat, and so the Sanguinor has appeared within engagement range, because it's 2 inches of a barricade on one side of the barricade there. Right inside installation 212. Can I fight now?
You cannot. Well, you can. You can fight.
Right.
However, I have a stratagem that I would like to employ with the Sanguinor.
Oh, he's got another thing.
He does. Well, it's a general Blood Angel stratagem.
Right.
It's called the Angel Sacrifice. This is an Epic D stratagem. And for 1 CP, I can use this stratagem in the fight phase. I can select 1 Blood Angel's character unit, excluding vehicles, obviously, from your army, until the end of the phase. Each time an enemy unit is selected to fight, if a model in that unit is within engagement range of that character, when your opponent is selecting targets for its attacks, those attacks can only target that character unit.
So if you select him,
yes,
the Gene Stealers can only fight him.
Yes.
That's crazy, yo.
Yes.
So blood. 1 minute. I'm not going to select the Gene Stealers first then. Let's select the Carnifex against this unit. There's also a Power Fist in that squad.
There is.
So let's go over here. Right, Crushing Charge. He's like an elephant. And on the 4-up, he does a mortal wound to that squad as he goes charging in.
Yeah, so that would be a dead.
A crushed one, because 1 was on 1 wound.
Yeah.
And then I got 5 attacks with my monstrous scything talons, and I'm hitting on 3s now, re-rolling 1s because I charged. And these will wound on 3s. And I wound twice at AP -3, 3 damage a time. Your sergeant needs to make boxcars, 2 6s to stay alive.
Boxcars. I've been rolling nothing but 1s and 2s, but now's the time. I make 1.
That's almost good enough, but instead he takes 3 damage as a claw the size of a JCB digger goes smashing through him. Then I will consolidate in that way, and you can pay another couple of CP to interrupt if you would like to. Right, so you're not paying to interrupt because over here against the Raveners, you don't think you can do very much. And over here, I can't pile in because it's closer to the closest enemy model.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones who can actually engage are these 3, because it's 1/2 inch of a 1/2 inch and 2 inches of a barricade. I got 9 attacks.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I get an extra attack each. I get 12 attacks, and they all have to hit your Sanguinor.
They do. And I believe the Sanguinor You must subtract 1 from that attack's hit roll.
Right.
Because of his angelic visage.
Right, okay. I'd normally hit on 2s because of the Broodlord, back to 3s because of the Sanguinor, and that helped you once there because of his angel. Is he got toughness higher than 4?
He does not.
Okay, so I'm wounding you on 3s. And I was looking for the 6s again for the 2 at AP -1.
This is good.
They should be dead.
Stuff. They should be dead.
This is not good.
But alas, they are not.
2 3-up saves?
Yep.
I scratch him.
You do?
I hurt him. How many wounds has he got?
He has 5 wounds, 4 remaining.
Okay. Only 4 left. But it stopped that squad being wiped out and me ending up and over. Okay, so those 2 attacks happened. We're coming over here to the Raveners. Raveners, 3s to hit. 4s to wound with rending claws. And come on, the 6s. Haven't had any yet. There's a couple of 6s. Right, you're setting to defend. And we're calling this heavy cover and everything because, I mean, look at it. So these are 6-up saves. Mm-hmm. These are 2-ups. Well, these are back to 3-up saves. -1, +1. So.
Okay. So we'll get the pain out of the way.
Okay, the 6-up saves.
We'll do the 6-ups.
Yes.
I don't get any of those.
Don't get any of them. 5 3-up saves.
And then we have 5 3-ups.
Oh, 2 of them as well. So 5 wounds in total. 2.5 Primaris Marines, 4. Then that was the end of my assault phase. Then these Intercessors fought back, causing 2 wounds, which I saved 1 of. So 1 of the Raveners is injured. Then we're coming back here to the Sanguinor and the Assault Intercessors. So the Sanguinor is striking back with 5 or 6 attacks?
It is 6 attacks.
We shock assault, yeah. 2s?
Yes, on 2s.
He only hits 3 times. Well, he just did appear in a blinding flash of white light.
He took a wound as well.
Yeah.
So each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to the normal damage. So he is strength 6. This is -4 damage 2. Doesn't matter against. Okay. There we go. So +1 a wound. That's 3 wounds.
3 wounds. But no mortal wounds. 5 up and guns. He takes 3 out.
He does kill 3.
Then the Assault Intercessors cut out at the Gene Stealers, causing 3 wounds, and I save every single one of them by dodging right and dodging left.
I think he might have saved the wrong unit.
Yes, and now we have a morale test to take on that unit there. So you can spend 2 CP to auto pass, but the leadership 9 right now because of the aura thing. And you lost 6. So 1, 2, 3 will pass.
Yes, and I've been rolling really badly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping...
It should be a 1, shouldn't it?
It should be a 1.
It should be a 1.
But typically when you're rolling really badly...
You now roll a 6.
I'll now roll a 6.
Yes. You rolled a 4. That's a fail. 1 more flees, and then on a 1, 2, the last model flees as well. Oh no, only on a 1 because of Space Marines.
Yeah, well, he's all right.
He's all right. So the Sergeant stays bravely battling against 12 Gene Stealers?
Yes.
And that's the end of Tyranids turn 2. With the arrival of the Sanguinor, we have desperate times for the boys from Baal. They're surrounded. I've still got warriors and hive guard, and my big weapon beasts are still largely untouched. And yes, I've barely breached the perimeter, except for that Morlock over there. Barely breached the perimeter, but I am outnumbering them 3, 4, 5 to 1 now. Each squad has taken casualties, except for perhaps these boys up in the sniper tower. The Blade Guard vets took some casualties last term, but the Apothecary was able to heal them back. Your captain has taken injuries as well, has taken wounds, and is down to 1 wound left. He survived by the skin of his teeth. It looks like desperate times lead to desperate measures for the Blood Angels. And you know what happens when things get desperate for the Blood Angels?
We unleash hell.
We unleash hell. We unleash the Death Company. Also, it must be remembered that for me to win this game, I've got to kill every single person here. So if there's still 1, even though it looks desperate, if there's only a couple of guys left at the end, then Dante will reinforce this site. So it's not over. It's a long way from over. As we move on to Blood Angels, turn 2. And here we are after the Blood Angels turn 2 movement phase. The Death Company have entered play. They've disembarked and moved round here, and disembarked from that structure and move round here. All the Death Company have jump packs on and can pick their targets well. And I had to leave the room there So you had time to actually think.
Yeah.
That was head scratching because this is a make or break moment. I feel that if the Death Company do some serious work here, then you might be able to defend this site. The Sanguinor can fall back from combat and still charge.
You can.
So he's jumped up and away from the Gene Stealers breaking free, and the last assault Intercessor also broke free. So those Gene Stealers, after being held up by the golden light of the Sanguinor, are now open to be shot at. And it looks like the Sanguinor and Mephiston are going to team up on a Carnifex. And then the last squad of Death Company got out and are charging through for the Broodlord and the Gene Stealers. Meanwhile, in the middle, there was some advancing going on with some units, the Lieutenant and a couple of characters, to bubble everything up and make sure all the orders and all the oratory is overlapping. You healed 3 wounds back on your captain, and interestingly enough, the Blade Guard vets have moved away from the Pyrovores on that flank there, ready to stand firm, ready to fight this direction. You also spent 2 CP on commanding oratory with your chaplain here. So Litany of 8, he's shouting it out as loud as he can, and any Blood Angel within earshot will be able to re-roll all hits in the fight phase. So there is going to be a significant push on the right flank and a significant push on the left flank as the Blood Angels do all they can to hold down this installation. Now we're going on to the psychic phase. What would you like Mephiston to do, sir?
I would like Mephiston to actually cast something this time.
That would be useful.
First and foremost. The second thing I'd like him to do is I'd like him to cast Quickening.
Okay.
And I would like him to do that in style. He does it in style.
I'll try and deny that. I need a 9. I don't deny it. So Mephiston is powered up, and now he wants to unleash rage on the Death Company. Get them all angry like. And that passes on an 8. I should try and deny that with another character. And I don't deny that either. Mephiston's powers are fizzling. The chaplain is screaming the litany of hate. And then we moved on to the shooting phase. We had Stalker pattern rounds going down into the Pyrovores, killing one of them. And then pretty much all the firepower that could reach out and touch the Gene Stealers went into the Gene Stealers, including the Death Company, including both units of Intercessors and the characters. And you've wiped the Gene Stealers out and then some. Mephiston put a plasma pistol into the Carnifex and took 1 wound off of him as well. So Pyrovore dead, Gene Stealers dead. We're coming over here to this Death Company, who are going to put the bolt guns into the Raveners, but you've got 2 Inferno pistols at the front on the Harrow specs.
Yes.
These could be very deadly. 3s to hit. They both hit, and 4s to wound.
I'd like that again.
And I won't get a save, because these are basically mini melters. I don't get a save. Do you want to command point the other one? This is D6 plus 2 damage.
No.
No? Okay. D6 plus 2 damage at this range. For 8 damage off the Harrow specs. It's a beast in close combat, but now it's down to 5 wounds left, and you're saying what now?
That is the first time.
Yes.
I've been using these Inferno pistols for maybe about 2-3 years.
Yeah.
That's the first time they've ever hit and wounded a tank equivalent.
Right.
Usually they kind of just, like dispatch a guardsman.
Right.
Because,
Because they're bloody Death Company and they're going after guardsmen and stuff like that. So what you're saying to people is don't ever bring them. Don't bring the Inferno pistols.
Don't bring the Inferno pistols.
No. Why did you bring them?
Because... well, because I can't take them in units of 15 anymore, and I built them ages ago, and I have to use these instead of the bolt gun chainsword, which we can no longer use anymore, and I'm not salty about it.
Not at all.
No.
Talking about bolt guns, do you want to light up the Raveners?
I do.
3s to hit. And 4s to wound. And with the tactical doctrine in effect, these are AP -1. So
yeah.
I only have a 5-up save. 6-up save, sorry. You kill a Ravener and put one down to 1 wound. One of the Raveners was injured, so 2 of them have fallen there. Now we're on to this Death Company, which has 1 Inferno pistol, firing at the Exocrine. And all the bolt guns are going to fire into the Termagants here. Here's the Inferno pistol.
So this is probably going to behave the way it usually does.
Right, we'll find out. It hits.
It hits.
There'll be a 3 to wound. I don't get a save. That's
Ooh.
D6 plus 2 damage.
Here we go.
And that's 4 damage. The exocrine's down to 7 left. And after the Death Company shot holes into the exocrine, a fragmentation round and bolt pistols went into the termagants, killing I think 11 of them. So that's it for the Death Company on this flank, scoring some hits before they go charging in. Around here, this is it for the shooting phase. We now have multiple charges as the Blood Angels pushed the enemy back. Then we moved on to the charge phase. Mephiston and the Sanguinor have charged the Screamer Killer. Now we're coming on to the first unit of Death Company. What would you like to charge, sir?
These unit of Death Company are going to charge the unit of 6 and the Broodlord.
The 6 warriors,
yes,
and the Broodlord.
Yes.
It's not -2 to going through here because you've got the fly keyword, your jump pack. You ignore the difficult ground.
We do.
Okay. I think I want to overwatch you. Let me have a look at line of sight. Yeah, I'm going to overwatch you. I've got all line of sight here, spending the CP. 2 Venom Cannons, D3 shots each. 2 shots hitting on 6s. Negative. Then 4 Death Spitters hitting on 6s. There's a few 6s. 6 6s, in fact, strength 5, wounding on 3s. That's 4 wounds at -1 on the Death Company. 4 4-up saves. And the Death Company, they ignore wounds on a 6. 1 falls. Then they charge 6 inches.
Yep.
Death Company make it here. Now the Chaplain wants to follow them up. Only a 7-inch charge because of Blood Angels. Good luck. Oh, he gets in. That's curious, that, because you could have left that tail there and given these guys reroll a hit as well. Mind you, the Sanguinor and Mephiston probably don't need help against a Carnifex. So we have 3 charges so far. Where are this squad of Death Company going? Just into the exocrine or anything else as well as a bonus?
So I think what we'll do...
What was the plan, War Hipster? What was the plan?
The plan was to kill everything.
Okay,
Unlikely.
I like that plan, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying.
So we're going to charge here.
Yes.
Here.
Oh.
And here.
Oh, he's getting greedy.
Yeah.
Let's see how far you managed to go in the charge phase. Then I can't overwatch anymore. I've spent my CP. They're going 6 inches, which is 7 inches because of Blood Angels. After the charge phase, we end up like this. Everyone within 2 inches of another model. That's within 2 inches. Then we had another charge. The Judiciar charged the Harrow Specs. Now the last charge, the last unit of Death Company, where are they going?
They're also going to be greedy.
Really?
Yeah, because the thirst is strong. The Black Rage
is raging.
Will not be held in check.
Right.
So they're going to charge all 3 of these.
What, the Raveners, the Harrow Specs, and the Little Bugs?
Yes, they are.
Okay, let's roll 2d6 and see how far they get. They get 6 inches as well, which will be easily enough. The second Death Company make it here. So we have charges across the line. The Judiciar is using his ability Temper Mortis, and he's selecting the Harrow Specs. What happens is you select an enemy unit within 3 inches, and that unit must fight last after all of your units have fought. Basically, I can't pay to interrupt with the Harrow Specs, because then it comes down to, where does War Hipster want to start? Mephiston? The Sanguinor? Down here? Where would you like to start? Because I have many command points and I can pay.
I would like to start with the Death Company here.
With the Death Company here? I would too. The Broodlord is the nastiest weapon in my army. So let's pile in and fight. Nastiest weapon in close combat. That's a quick edit. So yeah, let's pile in and fight. Well, to be fair, the Hive Guard's not that bad either. He's one of the nastiest weapons. And have you finished piling in?
I think.
Okay.
Nearly, yeah.
Nice. A bit of wobbly model syndrome going on here, but everyone is engaged. We've got 2 hammers and a chainsword going in against the Broodlord.
Yes.
And the 2 hammers have 4 attacks each.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting on 4s.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're re-rolling because the chaplain has successfully bellowed.
Yes, he's shouting "hate them," and you hit
So
twice.
it's a good job. But the 6 does explode because of Unleashed Rage.
Right, so that is an extra hit.
That is an extra hit.
Okay, reroll these ones because otherwise the chaplain will punch them. And there's another 6 as well.
6.
And a 4.
That
So
many.
5 hits, 6, 7 hits. Right. And you would be wounding on 3s normally, but you're wounding on 2s
Yep.
because you are a Blood Angel. And how many is that? 6 wounds. And each of these does 3 damage.
Yep.
And I've got 6 wounds. So I've 5 up invulnerable save. I need to make a bunch of these. In fact, I need to make 5 out of 6. Or the Broodlord's dead. The Broodlord's dead. However, spending 2 CP on Death Frenzy, use this when as Tyrannid's character is slain, and then he can immediately fight. So the Broodlord is getting all nasty. He hits on 2s, and he has 5 hits there. He's strength 5 or 6. He wounds on 3s, but he rerolls all failed wounds because he's a nasty, nasty creature. Now 6s.
A -6.
A -6 flat 3 damage. But Death Company ignore wounds, so you've got 3 6s, 3 6s, 3 6s to ignore the pain.
No.
1 dies.
No.
3 so far. And then the 2 3s that I had are D3 each, so one of them needs to take another 3. And another 3. Wow! You know what? You're talking about your Inferno pistols being the best they have ever been.
Yeah.
That's the best the Broodlord has ever been. Right, a couple of things going on here. Your attacks against me all happen at the same time.
Indeed.
That unit hit the Broodlord and the warriors at the same time. And then when the Broodlord died, when he was slain, he hit back. It's not like you hit me with those guys only. They took it in turns.
Yeah.
They hit the Broodlord, then he went, right, okay, then he hit you, and now you've only got a couple of attacks against the warriors. It didn't work out like that. That unit hits these 2 units at the same time. So these chainswords all get to fight the warriors, and they hit on 3s. And they reroll a hit. And 6s explode. And you got 8 6s. So you got more hits than you had attacks. And these are, you're right there.
I've got small hands.
Right.
I've got it. I've got it. Hooray.
One of these will wound on 3s now. AP -1.
Yep.
28 wounds at AP -1, so 5 up saves. And if the Assault Doctrine was in effect, you'd have extra attacks and an extra AP. Another one dead. Another one dead. Another one dead. You've already killed the unit. So Death Company doing what they do and wiping out the Broodlord, wiping out the unit of warriors, consolidating it into the other unit of warriors. Yes, they lost 6 of their number for this, but it cost me a couple of CP to do it. And talking about CP, I'm spending 3 right now. Mephiston doesn't have an invulnerable save, does he?
He does not, no.
So 2 to interrupt and 1 for Voracious Appetite. I'm selecting this Tyrannid monster to attack Mephiston.
I understand.
But I'm hitting on 4s. I only have 5 attacks. I'm hitting on 4s. And I reroll 1s with my monstrous scything talons. So everything hit.
That's not good.
Strength 7.
Toughness 5.
And with Voracious Appetite, I reroll all failed wounds. And this is AP -3. 3 damage. So 4 at AP -3.
Okay. And he has a 2+ save.
He is a bit of a beefcake.
And he does have a 5-up shrug.
He might be able to tank it.
Is it 3 wounds?
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
4 5-up saves.
4 5-up saves. Here we go. So he makes 2.
So that's 6 damage.
That's 6 damage.
5-up shrugs coming up. Has he got 6 wounds?
He has got 6 wounds.
So you just make 1 5-up save. And Mephiston, Chief Librarian of the Dark Angels, Blood Angels,
Blood Angels
will still be okay.
He makes 2.
He's a tank. So Mephiston does not fall. In fact, I think I've made him angry. He's going to fight back now. With the quickening, he gets an extra D3 attacks. For an extra 2. He started off with 6 because of shock assault, so he's up to 8. He hits on 2s, right?
He does hit on 2.
And isn't he strength 10 or something stupid?
He is strength 10, yeah.
2s to hit. And he hits 6 times. 3s to wound. Well, 2s to wound because of Blood Angel. What's the AP of this?
It's -4.
-4.
No, it's -3.
Okay, so I get 6s. I don't make any 6s. How much damage?
Got 1 more. I know you've rolled 5.
I roll 5.
They are D3 each.
All right, 7 wounds to get through. You've wounded me 5 times. 5 times D3.
Do you want me to roll them one at a time for
No.
suspense?
Yes,
3,
9,
6,
10,
9,
11,
10,
12.
12.
He does Carnifexes only start off with 8 wounds. So I do 4 to you, you do 12 back to me. He's like the Incredible Hulk.
He's very angry.
Never ever make him angry. Mephiston stands at the wall and just laughs, wipes the Xenos ichor from his blade. We come over here. The chaplain charged, so then he can be selected in the fight phase to pile in and consolidate. And he's gone into the warriors. He can't fight them because they weren't selected as the target of his charge, but it does keep him safe. And the same sort of shenanigans have applied to the Sanguinor. The Sanguinor are charged the Carnifex, but when he's selected to fight, he piled in and consolidated into the Zoanthropes. Now, that does mean that when the Zoanthropes, if the Zoanthropes fall back, they can't do any psychic shenanigans. But if they stay in combat, then everything will hit the Sanguinor. Instead of hitting at choice targets up in the battlefield, and you said it's fine, because he'll just dissipate and go back into the warp, back into the arms of the Emperor one more time. He will be the hero. He will be the sacrifice you need him to be.
He's done exactly what he needed to do. He saved one man from certain death, and now he is a bullet magnet for all of this horrible Xenos nonsense.
A psychic bullet magnet, in fact. We still have 3 charges to do. We still have the Death Company, and the Judiciar. Where would you like to start with first?
I'd like to do the Judiciar.
Yeah, Judiciar. How do you say it?
I say Judiciar.
Judiciar.
Because there's 2 I's in it, but I could be wrong.
Right.
I might even have spelt it wrong.
Judiciar. I have a terrible time with Judiciar and Indomitus and Sanguinary Guard. It's all very confusing.
It's all too much, isn't it?
It's like it's written in Welsh or something. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. He hits 4 times. And it's strength 7, so you would be wounding on 5s, but 4s because of Blood Angels. And 6s do mortal wounds in addition. He wounds twice. What is this? AP -3, 2 damage. 6s? I don't make any. That's 4 damage off the... It's got 1 wound left, the Haruspex. 1 wound. So we're going to the Death Company. We've got 2 Power Fists on the Haruspex. That should be enough. These 3 are attacking the little bugs. Those 5 are attacking the Raveners. Here's the Power Fists. They hit on 4s. No rerolls over this side of the battle grid, however. You don't need them. 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. Just 2. 1 wound left. I need to make 2 6s. I don't make any 6s. Right, before I move it, a couple of things. It's got acid blood. So the 4 wounds it lost on the Judiciar, on 6s it does mortal wounds back again. And the 1 wound it lost from the Death Company on a 6, it does mortal wounds back again. No. So that's as it loses wounds. It spills acid all over the place. Then when it dies, frenzied death throws, I need a 6 again. No. And that does actually a flat 3 mortal wounds. Ooh. It's quite nasty. It's a walking, angry, acidic bomb. But you take it out bit by bit by bit without it managing to do any wounds back again. Now we've got the rest of the attacks from the Death Company. The Haruspex is gone. The Raveners didn't stand a chance against this unit here. Now we're doing these attacks against the little bugs. I've spent a CP on Caustic Blood. So let's see how many wounds you manage to get in on 3s. And you're going to be killing them on 2s. Strength 4 versus toughness 3, +1 to wound. I won't get a save at AP -1.
I think these ones, remember, because they got the bolt guns.
Yes, but you count as having combat blades.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, so we'll have 6-up saves. Yeah,
We'll have
because
6-up saves.
it isn't the assault phase yet.
It was 2s, wasn't it?
2s to wound. Was that 8?
4, 6, 8, yes.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Little bugs. Okay, 7 of them die. Now, on 6s, acid splashes back onto you. There's been one big acid party here. So far, no acid at all splashed back, and one mortal wound has splashed back.
So this will be a shrug?
Yes.
Or 6? No.
Now, the last fight, we have 2 Thunderhammers going that way, 5 Chainswords that way, and 3 Chainswords that way. The Death Company are getting very happy. Where are we starting?
We'll do the Thunderhammers first.
Okay. Thunderhammers on Exocrine.
We always start with the exciting combat.
Yes.
That's what we do.
And you've
it's
hit
not that exciting.
once. One hit.
That's one hit.
One hit. Winning on a 3.
I might use a CP.
Oh, okay. Right. Are you going to use a CP?
I think I have to.
Okay.
I think I have to, because that's terrible.
One hit. Just one hit. 3 to wound. It wounds. I fail the save. That's 3 damage. I've got 4 left. And then the chainswords hacked down 8 of the termagants who have acid for blood. And 1 mortal wound back, which you don't shrug. There's a lot of acid going on here, but it's obviously very pH neutral. Finally, 25 chainsword attacks into the Tervagon on 3s.
This is where I want big money now.
Yes. Good luck. 5s to wound though. She's a big girl, that Tervagon. Still caused 8 wounds though, 8 4-up saves. And at the end of the Blood Angels fight phase before the Tyranids respond, much carnage has been wrought on this flank. We've remembered to consolidate. You've got rid of the Harrowspecks and the Raveners. Over here, you didn't remove the 2 big baddies that you did go flying into. The Exocrine's still standing and the Trigon. But the Carnifex, the Broodlord, and a whole unit of warriors are wiped out. Now the remaining Tyranids will get to fight back. The 3 Tyranid warriors have Scything Talons. They hit them on 2s because they're next to the prime, and they reroll 1s. That's what Scything Talons do. Winning on 4s. 3 3-up saves. And you're fine. So, no damage caused here. Then we did the Zoanthropes headbutting the Sanguinor. They did nothing at all. Coming across the Exocrine. The Exocrine's got D3 attacks when it's on 4 wounds. 1 attack. It hits on a 4. It hits. It is strength 7 minus 1, 2 damage. It doesn't wound. Tervagon. The Tervagon's got 3 attacks. She's still at full profile. Hits on 4s. Wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound. Which is interesting because it's minus 3 d6 damage. Doesn't do anything at all. Now we have the Swarm. Hitting on 4s, winning on 5s, they didn't do anything either. So I tried to hurt back here with exploding acid and striking back, but in the end, none of the Death Company on the left flank fall. However, 5 of them, 6 of them did fall over here. You've got 2 CPs left if you want to heroically keep them around, but they do suffer morale now. But their leadership currently is 9 because there's a chaplain nearby. 9 plus, if you roll a 1 plus the 6 is a pass, you would pass. And a 2 and a 3. You lost 6. Your leadership 9. A 1, 2, 3 is a pass, but you can pay your CP.
I don't want to lose the 2 CP.
Right, okay.
So
1, 2, 3 will pass because you have a chaplain shouting, being heroic and things. Good luck. See, you roll low. You're fine.
That's the first time.
The Black Company hold. And that is the end of Blood Angels. Turn 2. Here we are after turn 3 for the Tyranids. It's only turn 3. So much has died and the Death Company are pressurizing my lines. So I need to deal with these units first before I push forward into the compound and kill everything else. The warriors have broken out of combat. The idea is I've got guns here that can gun the Death Company down and the chaplain. The Zoanthrope should be able to get rid of the Sanguinor here. And then the Pyrovore moved round and the Hive Tyrant hopped up and over. And he's aiming for the Blade Guards. Now, Blade Guard veterans on Blood Angels are absolutely brutal. With a +1 to wound, they're brutal. With the extra attack, gets them up to 4 attack, brutal. There's a Blade Guard Ancient there, 5 attacks each. With the Sergeant, 16 attacks. They're crazy. I need them dead before they can start getting full combat effective. And that means killing them utterly, because the Apothecary will just start picking models up with combat revival. I know that means I'm putting my Hive Tyrant into the teeth of the beast here, because there's many people down here that can fight and fight well in close combat. But those Blade Guard need to go, because they're going to be a problem. So pressure around here with guns and psychic powers. Then up here, I've kept the Acid Spray Tyrannifex still so it can fire twice, and I've broken out of combat. The idea is to throw acid down onto... There was an acid explosion here last turn. There's going to be more acid this way. And then dead Death Company. And then I spawned 10 Termagants into this squad here. And to deal with a second squad is either drown them in bodies again and again and again, or charge them with my Trigon, which has appeared over there. But what you've done is you're forcing me to deal with these things and not get into the compound. So the plan is working for the Blood Angels at this stage, but they've got to withstand another psychic boatload of bullets, psychic mind bullets. That's what I want to say. And guns. Let's see if they can. I'm going to start off with the Hive Tyrant. No, I'm going to start off here. I need the Sanguinor dead. I'm going to start by smiting the Sanguinor, and I can reroll once. I need a 5. That passes. This is 2d3 mortal wounds on the Sanguinor for 4. Has he got any way of shrugging them? Because he's got 4 left.
I'm not sure.
Because if he doesn't, you see, my Psychic Scream is going to hit Mephiston. And Mephiston's got 2 wounds left. No, he can't shrug. So Mephiston is going to try and deny this power. He nates her. Okay. Going here.
No.
That's a negative on the deny. The Sanguinor will fall. And then I Psychic Scream at Mephiston. And that does a 10. That's a pass. So that's a 10. Would you like to try and deny?
No.
Right, first we need to do a leadership test thing. I need to beat your leadership. And if I do, which I don't, then you would forget a spell. The next thing is, because that's what Psychic Scream does in addition to the D3 mortal wounds. Here's the D3 mortal wounds for 1.
That is why I did not deny.
5 have shrug.
He still takes the wound.
He still takes the wound. Now, Psychic Scream hits Smite hits the closest thing in line of sight and range. And Mephiston is the closest thing in line of sight and range to my Neurothrope here, who is also going to smite.
Mm-hmm.
So this needs a 6 to cast. And that's a super smite. Would you like to try the 9 or 12?
I might as well.
Okay. You need a 12.
He's not long for this world.
Stranger things have happened in the world of 40k. No.
It's a valiant effort.
D6 for 5 shrugs on Mephiston. He needs 5s and 6s.
Right, come on. 5 5s and 6s. How hard is it? I'm due 1.
No. And Mephiston is removed as a casualty. There's an apothecary there. He's not dead. He will fall back into the bunkers and underground storage areas of installation 212. But that is also your only ability to deny me any psychic power for the rest of the game. So he's a good force multiplier. He's gone. The Sanguinor's gone. Now my Hive Tyrant will smite the Blade Guard right in front of him and fail, but he'll also try and horrify them and fail in that as well. Interesting. And then over here, I fell out of combat, so I can't smite. That is the end of my psychic phase. I can't shoot, I fell out. I can't shoot, I fell out. I'm in combat, I can't fall out. So we're going to do the Trigon. Yep, it's Biostatic Rattle fired out. I can't hit them because they're in combat. I hit one of these guys. They have a 2-up save. Just 1 wound caused. And they're fine. Then I don't have much shots left, but what I do have is a Tyrannofex, which can fire twice down into this Death Company here that are no longer in combat. Ooh, 1 minute. Before I do, let's spend a CP on Scorch Bugs and fire all of these guys in. 30 shots from the little guys into the Death Company, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s, and I would be typically wounding on 4s, but the bugs are on fire. We don't need no water left. So I'm wounding on a 3. It's +1 to wound, and I'm re-rolling 1s because of there's more than 20 of them in the squad. 11 wounds on the Company of Death, AP dash.
We do not make company with death today. We make lots of company with death.
That was really bad. Dude, you failed 7 saves.
Yep, that's 7.
7 shrugs of 6s. You're making company with death today. So the Scorch Bugs from the Termagant set them on fire and remove 3 of them. Now the Acid Spray from my Tyrannofex will fire in and will automatically hit 4d6 times. Their strength 7.
How much damage is it?
-1 d3 damage time.
I will not use Refusal to Die.
Okay. Number of auto hits. 15 auto hits. What's Refusal to Die?
It gives them a 5 up feel no pain, but it is 2 CP on a unit that's over 5, and there are more than that alive still.
And you've only got 2 CP left.
You only have 2 left.
Okay. 3's to wound. Let's roll the one that hit the floor. 9 wounds, sir. 9 4-up saves.
Come on. Come on, Sanguinius.
Last time it was bad. This time it must be good. I can feel it in... that's good. You only dropped 4? You only dropped 4. D3 a time. One's on 1 wound. And he's got to save 3. So he's gone. Next one, 2. He's gone. Next one, 3. He's alive on 1 wound. And he's got to save 1 more.
Come on, just a 6.
Negative. And when the smoke clears, there's 4 of the Death Company left. 2 of them still have hammers, so they're a problem. We're coming around here to the Death Spitter from my prime into these guys, and it hits all the time and it wounds all the time. They have 4-up saves because it's -1/1 damage, and they failed 2 of them. 2 6-up shrugs. And 1 more dies, leaving only 3 left. And then this, what I'm going to do is put the Rupture Cannon. You know last time he tried to one-shot your captain?
Yes.
This time he's going to try and one-shot your chaplain.
He is.
And then his Stinger Salvo is going to go into the Death Company.
Can he with these guys nearby?
Well, he's still the closest model
to
me. So here's the Stinger Salvo into the Death Company. I need 4s to hit and 3s to wound, and I wound 4 times. So that's 4 4-up saves on the Death Company. And you failed 2 shrugs. Nope, 1 more goes. And then 6 shots with the Rupture Cannon, point blank range into the chaplain's face on 4. So I hit 3 times again, like against your captain, wounding on 2s. I wound him 3 times. 3 4-up Rosarius saves, invulnerable saves.
This is the time to power up.
His force field flickers and deflects 1 of the shots. 2d6 damage. 9 damage.
He's dead, Dave.
He's dead, Dave. He's gone. He's not a Death Company chaplain. What I'm going to do with the Hive Guard is fire 3 of them, so 6 shots into the Death Company, and the other 3 into the Intercessors, because I think I'm going to fire them into the Blade Guard, because I think the Hive Tyrant might need help. He's bounced so many times. Here's the shots into the Death Company, and on 2s, and they're -2 d3 damage a time. You only make 3 saves, and it does that much damage. 2, then 2, then 3. They do not make their shrugs. Then the shots into the Blade Guard veterans, wounding on 3s, in fact. And it's -2, which becomes -1 because of the Storm Shields. So 3 4-up and vulnerable saves. And you make 2 of them. D3 damage. But 1 of them does get wiped out.
We do have the shrug.
Oh, yeah.
The apothecary.
Yeah.
It's finally coming to...
Yeah. 3 6s coming up. No 6s coming up. Then the Pyrovores fired in and managed to wound 1 in the Intercessor squads. And then that is the end of my shooting phase. I've cleared the lines away here, including Mephiston, including the Sanguinor. But I'm still a long way from the lines, except for these charges coming up in the center. The Hive Tyrant will charge the Blade Guard. The Morlock will charge this unit of Intercessors down here. And the Trigon Prime will, normal Trigon, in fact, will try and get into the Death Company over here. I need an 8-inch. These 2 guys are automatically in. But the Trigon needs 8 inches with adrenal glands. And he makes the charge. In the fight phase, we're going to start with the Hive Tyrant attacking the Blade Guard veterans. He's got 5 attacks with his loadout. He hits on 2s. And he rerolls 1s because that's what Monstrous Scything Talons do. And I spent a CP on Voracious Appetite. So I can reroll all failed wounds because I'm only wounding on 3s. Oh, I wound every time anyway. And then -3 damage. Basically, you need to make your 4-up invulnerable saves or suffer 3 wounds a time. And they only have 3 wounds each. they are close to the apothecary. So 3 6s. You make one of them, he's alive. And then 3 6s for the second amount of damage, because it's 3 damage a time. So one of them gets wiped out, because that's 5 in total. And then 3 6s for the last guy. If you make 1 6, the Blade Guard Sergeant will live. The Blade Guard Sergeant falls. And I pile into the Intercessors because I know no fear. I literally know no fear because of synapse and things.
No.
Whereas Space Marines are a bit scary now. We're a bit more scared because then they know no fear has changed.
Just attack.
Would you like to pay to interrupt with your 2 CP? No, you're not attacking. You're not paying to interrupt because your fists are over this side. So you don't think you'll be able to do enough damage. What you did do, though, at the end of the charge phases, heroically intervened with the Jujutsu.
Yes.
The dude. Right. Trigon, 6 attacks, +1 for monstrous scything talons. So 7 attacks. He hits on 3s. He rerolls 1s. That's what monstrous scything talons do. That's only 5 hits. And he'll wound on 3s. But they are -3 d6 damage a time. 5 6-up saves. And then at d6 damage a time and with some shrugging, I only managed to kill 3 of the Death Company. The tail missed. So they managed to get off lightly there. That is the end of the assaults from the Tyranids. Now defenders get to fight back. When the Death Company and the Judiciar fought back, they killed 18 Termagants and put 6 wounds on the Trigon there. It is turn 3. So they get an extra attack because the assault doctrine is in effect. And there's a power fist there against the Trigon. I wish I had 3 CP, but I only have 2. Because if I had 3 CP, I could pick this unit and fight again. So that's the end of the combat here. And over here, the Intercessors actually, because it's turn 3, managed to put 4 wounds on my Hive Tyrant. That is the end of the Tyranids phase. In turn 3, we have some morale to take for the Death Company, unfortunately. Maybe some more will flee. For some reason, they're only leadership 7. You lost 6 in this squad. You need a 1.
So I
Or 2 CP. And you need a anything but a 6 in this squad here.
Yeah.
You're thinking...
I might spend the 2 CP to keep them alive.
Insane bravery. There are 2 hammers there.
And roll it for them.
Okay, don't roll a 6.
Here it comes.
It's the 6 finally that you've been wanting. Yeah, 1 flees. And then on 1s, some more flee. You can't make it up, mate. You've got 6 more. 6 more 1s, please. And 1 more flee. So 2 are no longer combat effective in this squad. I don't like the idea of Space Marines, particularly Death Company fleeing. Let's say they've succumbed to their injuries. But these guys are insane. So command points are all spent for the Blood Angels, but War Hipster will gain 1 in turn 3. It is turn 3. There's 2 more turns of the Tyranids pushing in on this site in order to kill every single Blood Angel remaining. And we have these guys here, and we have this stuff over here. And while I was looking around, I just remembered that we hadn't done the attacks with the Morlock. And he hits on 4s, re-rolling 1s, and wounds on 3s, and their AP-1 damage. So 4 3-up saves. I think 1 in that squad was injured. Yes, they were. And then the tail. And then the Blood Angels fought back and actually took a couple of wounds off of me. He's down to 8 wounds already. They're absolutely brutal, these Blood Angels in close combat. I can barely speak. So pressurizing this installation one more time. The Blood Angels have turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 to repel borders. 1 entire unit of Death Company have gone. But all the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord and the entire Warriors have gone in return. So they're looking strong on this side, except for the Hive Tyrant and the Psychic Might about to come in. What are you thinking? Is it desperate stuff yet? Are you still confident?
I'm still confident. I'm still confident we can survive with, at least 1 wound remaining.
Calling out to Dante saying, please reinforce this site. He needs to find out whether there is a site worth reinforcing.
I think clearly the venerable commander overestimated the size of the Tyranid presence around this installation. So it's only right that Dante should come and rescue us.
And so Captain Barbuta digs his heels in and shouts out orders to his men one more time as we go on to Blood Angels, turn 3. Here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase. Captain Barbuta recovers 1 wound from the apothecary, and units move round to deal with the Hive Guard. The last remaining assault intercessor has gone round here. It looks like he's going to either attack the Pyrovores or take the Hive Tyrant from the rear, and the lieutenant is moving over to deal with the Morlock. That's all the movement that we have in the center of the compound. Stalker pattern bolt rifles staying there, Stalker pattern bolt rifles staying here. The Death Guard are still in close combat, and this unit have unfinished business with the Exocrine. In the shooting phase, there's an Inferno pistol here coming out at the Exocrine on a 3 and wounding on a 3. And it fails to wound, and you have 1 CP back this turn if you wanted to charge something else with them. Not spending the CP on the reroll there, but a crack grenade did hit and wound, and I make the save. That's their shots. Now, you did point out that there's 2 Infernal pistols in this squad as well.
Yes.
And you want to fire at the Trigon.
I do. Point
Blank range, pistol fire into close combat, 3s to hit. Both hit and 3s to wound. No save at all. And they both wound. Right, this is D6 plus 2 damage, so minimum 3 with each shot. The Trigon's got 6 wounds left. You kill it. You kill it with the Inferno pistols. And on a 6 it would have gone mad, but instead it just melts into the ground. One of the big monsters have fallen. Now the Stalker pattern bolt rifles from the Intercessors are firing at another big beastie, the Exocrine down here. 3s to hit. 4 hits and 5s to wound. 2 wounds. I need to make 2 5-up saves. I make 1 of them. It does 2 damage. It's down to 2 wounds left, which should make it easy meat for the Death Company. However, the Intercessors are going to try and finish it off. If you do manage to finish it off with shooting, then the Death Company can jump and hit the Trigon. So here's a crack grenade launcher. Hits on a 3. And it will wound on a 5. That's really cocked. I can't see what side that is from here. That's a wound. And I make the save. Now we have a couple of bolt rifles coming in. 1 hit. No wounds. You're going to have to do it in close combat, my friend. Then we have pistols into close combat, into the Hive Tyrant and into the Morlock, taking a wound off each. We had shots coming through from the characters and the Stalker pattern bolt rifles down onto the Pyrovores here, killing one of the Pyrovores, and when it died it exploded and acid splashed out on the last remaining assault intercessor, dropping him down to 1 wound. And I think that's it for the shooting phase.
Captain.
You've got your captain.
He's the only one.
What's he firing at?
He will try and kill that Pyrovore.
Okay.
And hope it doesn't explode.
It's a flat 3 damage. It's got 4 wounds.
Warriors. Kill a warrior.
Warriors have got 3 wounds.
That's what he'll do.
Okay.
So he'll hit on a 3 because he moved.
Okay. He misses.
Missed.
He misses. Never mind. That is the end of the shooting phase. You did take out a Trigon. There are some charges coming across. The Death Company here are free to charge. You're going to charge here as well. Mm-hmm. I think I have to overwatch. 2 CPs left, down to 1. 6s to hit the Death Company. I hit them 3 times. And wound them once. Just once. Rolling 2 1s to wound there. They need a 6. No, and that does 2 damage. So another 6 will keep one alive because they shrug on 6s. Yes. The acid splashes over the armor. He's fine. They make the combat. And mistakes were made because now I have 1 CP. I can't pay to interrupt anywhere. And your captain has just charged into my Hive Tyrant. Any more assaults? Lieutenant, perhaps?
Yeah, he's going to go into...
Okay, there is no Overwatch. He is in. After the Lieutenant, the Ancient went in there as well. We have the hero characters stepping up to the mark. Finally, the last assault intercessor. If he survives all of this, he will be inducted. I've already done my Overwatch, so you could technically charge the Pyrovore. Yeah?
That's what I'm going to do, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're in. That auto-hitting flamer will not automatically hit you.
I'm very pleased about that.
And now we fight. Also, being 1 CP, yeah, I think I mentioned it, I can't interrupt you. You have free reign to tear chunks out of the Xenos filth. Good luck. We're starting down here versus the Exocrine. These Thunderhammer Death Guard have Death Company have 5 attacks each now because the Assault Doctrine is in effect. And they hit on 4s. They're angry. And they wound on 2s. And that is 5 wounds. I need to make a bunch of 6s, but that instead that's 9 damage that gets through. The Exocrine dies and doesn't death throw and strike out as he falls. Now we're going from this side of the battle grid all the way around to here to this lone hero assault intercessor sergeant trying to take out that Pyrovore. A bajillion attacks because he's Blood Angels. Hitting on 3s. He rerolls 1s because he's in range of his captain. And he's wounding on 3s because he's a Blood Angel. And this is AP -2. He only wounds 3 times. I have 4 wounds. 6s? I'm down to 1 wound. And Pyrovores have acid for blood on 6s. No 6s, he's lucky. He dodges the acid as it splashes back towards him. After that fight, Captain Barbuta strikes out at the Hive Tyrant with his master-crafted power sword. 7 attacks on the charge, hitting on 2s. He hits 6 times. Now he would typically be winning on 5s, but 4s because he's a Blood Angel. And 1 hit the floor. 1 wound. Wow. 1 4 up invulnerable save, which I make. No damage caused. Maybe the Blade Guard Ancient can hurt him. 6 attacks. Reroll on 1s. And that's 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. At -1, he does 4 wounds. Captain only did 1. 4 up invulnerable saves. That's important. The Hive Tyrant is bracketed. Now the last charging unit, the Lieutenant, is going against the Morlock. 6 attacks on the charge. He hits on 2s. He's not in reroll range, but he will be wounding on 4s because he's a Blood Angel. And it's a master-crafted power sword, so AP -4, I don't get a save. Each of these does 2 damage, dropping the Morlock all the way down to 1 wound. Then Defenders go next. That's all the charging units. So the Morlock on 1 wound left struck out at these Intercessors here and did no damage. And the Intercessors tore him down. Then we came across here. Little Bugs charged loads and loads of Death Company and did no damage. And now the Judicar and the Death Company gets to bash a lot of Little Bugs. And you drag them down, and then using 3 inches to consolidate towards the closest enemy unit. Got tactical. They may be Death Company, but there is a Judicar there. Using the terrain to their advantage, which means I can't see you right now. And if I move my acid spray T-Fex to see you, he's only firing twice instead of 4 times. Now we need to go back here. We forgot about all these fights over here. He hits on 3s now, and I want to attack the Intercessors, but your captain has stepped forward for a fight. He is the head of the snake, the evil snake that is the Blood Angels. He must be brought low. 3s to hit.
Oh, he's going to be brought very low.
3s to wound. I wound you 4 times. 4 up invulnerable saves. He couldn't hit for Toffee. Can he make an Iron Halo save?
So I like to think this is because of that massive amount of firepower he took earlier.
Perhaps, yeah, his head is still ringing.
Yeah, and whilst his body has been patched, his ceramite is still cracked. So, so here we go.
4 up invuns.
I make 1.
Right, that's 9 damage. You've got 1 CP, and you've got a 5 up shrug. How many wounds has he got left? 5?
Yes, 5.
Because each does a flat 3 damage.
Yes. So I'm going to spend that CP
Okay.
to reroll one of these dice.
Okay. Let's see if he manages to stand on his feet.
Come on.
Yes. Yes. So 6 shrugs, 5 wounds. All you need is 2 5s. How hard can it be? And your captain, hero of installation 212, stays on his feet. He makes 2 of them. That's twice he would have been dealt a mortal blow. And twice now he's managed to stay fighting. So the Hive Tyrant should have attacked those Intercessors there. Now they have a chance to bring it down. But you don't get all the extra attacks and things because you didn't charge.
No.
So 9 attacks with the Sergeant there.
Yep.
3s to hit.
Oh, and +1 because of his chainsaw.
Has he got a chainsaw?
He does.
Nice.
Embedded in the head of an orc that he mysteriously brought along for the battle.
Rerolling any ones? And that +1 to wound, that's when you charge as well, right? So this is 5s to wound.
It's okay. I need this luck now. This is where it's going to happen.
2 wounds. In buns, he takes another wound. My Hive Tyrant's down to 5 left, and that's the end of the fight phase. One last attack to do the Pyrovore against the Hero Sergeant on 4s and 3s. And that is -3, 1 damage. Can he make a 6-up save?
I'm going to do this with a golden dice.
Okay.
No.
No, negative. He falls. And so, that is the end of Blood Angels. Turn 3. No morale anywhere to take. The Hive Tyrant is locked in mortal combat with the captain of the Blood Angels. And interestingly enough, defenders will get to fight first. In turn 4, I can't fall back. Well, I can fall back and charge, but if I fall back, I can't psyker. I can fall back and charge because I'm Kraken. So that leaves some interesting options for me. But we have these heroes hanging on here. The Death Company round this flank took an absolute beating, but they've done their job. They've got rid of the Exocrine, they got rid of the Trigon, they got rid of the Harrowspecs, they got rid of all of the Raveners who are over here. They seem to be in a rather strong position. The right flank, not so much. So it's been a brutal day for the Blood Angels as the Tyranids press their advance in turn 4. Here we are after the movement and psychic phase for the Tyranids. Rupture Cannon T-Fex staying in the corner, but this one moving around the side to try and get some shots on the Death Company. The Trigon also tried to smite and hasn't managed to put any wounds on anything. Meanwhile, over here, however, my smite bomb did manage to clear away a unit of Intercessors there, despite the fact that they had a 6-up shrug because they were close to the Apothecary. I mean, I had Psychic Scream as well. That was 2 smites and a Psychic Scream, and I managed to throw Catalyst out and put it on to my Winged Hive Tyrant. He's jumped up and over there, mainly to leave these guys to the soft meat, which is your Captain and which is your Ancient. It means he can't do any psychic powers because he fell back from combat, but he can charge because I'm High Fleet Kraken. There is some softer meat, some softer targets for my Winged Hive Tyrant. Also, I want to start making my way downtown towards the Death Company. They're going to be the hardest thing to shift in turn 5, the last turn of the game for me. I advance round with the Prime and with the Warriors, and in the shooting phase, now the psychic phase is done, my Pyrovore is going to light Captain Barboot on fire with his acid. D3 shot, D6 auto hits, and that's a 6.
Oh.
It shall end in ignominy and death. 3s to wound. 5 wounds at -1 on your Captain. 5 4-up saves.
Easy.
Death by firing squad or acid squad. Did you just make them all?
I did not. I made 2.
2?
Yes.
Oh, those fails. Okay, 5-up saves, 5-up shrugs. Is he tough? Is he super tough? He's not tough enough.
Does he explode?
He doesn't explode.
That's unfortunate.
But he's not dead. Chief Mephiston, Chief Librarian Mephiston is not dead. He is not dead. He's just a casualty. He gets dragged away from some of the non-Space Marine serfs and taken down below. He's done well, though.
He has.
He's a boss. Now I'm free to shoot at your Ancient with the guns over here, but it will be -1 to hit because I advanced. Doing the Prime at the same time, even though technically they're in a different squad, hitting on 4s. And 5s to wound. Sorry, it's 3s to wound. Strength 5 it is. Strength 5, 3s to wound, 3 4-up saves. And you have a shrug as well, because there is a apothecary near you.
No.
He's not dead yet, so let's shoot him with a rupture cannon. And I hit him twice and wound him twice. 6s, negative, and 2d6 damage. For only Snake Eyes. If you can make 2 6s, I don't know. 1 6. The skull is obviously a 1, right?
Yes.
So your Bannerman falls as well. That's a good point. You just pointed out what the Ancient does, and which we haven't been doing for the entire game.
Yes.
What does the Ancient do?
He lets you, on a roll of a 4+, you can make a shooting attack or a attack as if it was the phase.
As if it was the phase. So all those intercessors that I tore down with the psychicness, we forgot everything else, but this is...
The rest of them, so when we did with the Blade Guard, I failed all of the 4s.
Right.
Characteristic, right?
Yes.
The Intercessors, only 1 then died. I failed that 4.
Yeah.
These then 4, we haven't rolled for that. So
let's roll for those 4 then. The 4 that died in the psychic phase. On 4s. Any?
3.
3? Are you going to shoot the Pyrovore that killed your captain? And then we put your captain back?
Yeah.
Okay then. 3 of them get a shot. They're hitting on...
Is it just 1 shot, is it?
I think it's 1 shot. 1 minute. Or 1 weapon. Shoot with one of its ranged weapons. So it is rapid fire. And it is into the Pyrovore. And it is 3 shots. 6 shots. Yeah. 3 shots each. 3 shots rapid firing. And you get to reroll 1s because your captain would have been there. And then you're wounding on 4s against the Pyrovore.
1.
1 wound. 1 5-up save. And the Pyrovore would have died, and then your captain would still be alive.
On 1 wound.
So I'm going to CP that. And the Pyrovore would have lived, and then he would have flamed your captain.
Yes.
And killed your captain.
Yes.
So it all goes back to normal, but it cost me a CP.
Yes.
We happy with that? We happy with that?
As long as you're spending no CP, I'm very happy.
Okay. I'm killing characters. I'm killing... This is good. Right, he can't shoot. Acid spray. I've got loads of little bugs shooting at these guys. And I'm going to spend my last CP that I just got back on Scorch Bugs 1 more time. And rerolling 1s to hit, rerolling 1s to wound with Scorch Bugs. I put 15 wounds on the Death Company. 15 3-up saves. And then they ignore wounds on 6s. And 1 of ignores a wound. So that actually puts that company down to 1 left. And then the acid spray Tyrannofex will spray acid that way and fire his stinger salvo into the 1 remaining guy with a hammer. And he'll hit on 4s and he'll wound on 3s and he wounds once. 1 4-up save.
Yeah.
Yep. And you make it. Acid into the 2nd squad. 10 times. Which wound on 3s, 7 4-up saves. And after rolling their Death Company saves, I only killed 2. And this thing fired out, didn't do any damage either. So there's 4 Death Company left here, and the Judicar. That is it for my shooting phase. I've shot everything I can around here. Maybe I can force a morale on that thing, because you lost 3 and their leadership's only 7. Why are they not fearless? But we're going to charge 1 more time. You have the boys in black here. These guys down here. How am I going to get up there? That's tomorrow's problem. And these guys down here, which I'm going to charge. So let's move on to the fight phase. Hive Tyrant charged the Intercessors in a foolhardy display. I've put the Trigorn into a Death Company with a hammer. I don't know if I really should do that. And the Warriors with the bone swords, paired bone swords, are going to try and charge the Apothecary. 8. I think they might make it in. They do make it in. We'll start the fight phase there. They hit on 3s. Pair of bone swords gives you extra attacks all round. And they wound on 4s though. Just gives you those extra attacks. But they are AP -2, 1 damage a time. 7 5-up saves. Shrugging on 6s. Ooh, he's alive on 1 wound. Because they start with 5, right?
Yep.
So that was really bad saving, but really good with his... he likes his combat drugs.
He does.
You can't interrupt. Let's go over here with the Trigorn into the Death Company. 4s, 1 hit. I need a 3. I really need a 3. I make a... Right, 6-up save on him, or it does need 6 damage.
He comes to 6. Come on. That's the opposite of a 6.
4 damage.
3 6s here. No 6s.
He's gone. 9 wounds left. I'm not going to turn around and consolidate into these heroes.
Oh, go on.
No,
Go on.
but I am going to strike you with my Hive Tyrant into the Intercessors.
See, that's not nice.
On 3s, re-rolling 1s and wounding on 3s. 2 wounds at -3.
Minus lots. I saved one.
1 gets wiped out. The Intercessors pile in and fight back. It's worth noting that the Lieutenant didn't heroically intervene because otherwise I would have just attacked him.
Yes.
3s to hit with the Intercessors. They could do it. They are Blood Angels, I believe. 4s to wound because they're Blood Angels, I believe. I said that already.
I believe. I'm starting to believe less, but I still believe.
Wow. 7 wounds. I need to make a bunch of 4-up and vulnerable saves. I make 1, but I did put Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant.
Ah!
It's got 5 wounds. I need to make 2 5s here. I make 3 5s. It's got 2 wounds left. A scream in frustration and anger.
I forgot about Catalyst. My little heart was just like, the Intercessors
I
did
did it.
Where Balduta failed, the Intercessors did it. No.
That is the end of Tyrannid's turn 4. The noose is closing. Oh, we have your Apothecary.
We do.
The Apothecary fighting back against the warriors with their paired bone swords.
He has 6 attacks.
Okay.
Because Blood Angels.
Blood Angels.
But no interesting weapons.
Oh. 3s
Yeah.
and 3s. But it is AP -1 because the Assault Doctrine. One of the warriors takes a wound is on 2 left. Words. This is your footprint as you hang on to installation 212. Don't roll a 6 for these Death Company here, or you're going to lose another one in the morale phase. I said don't.
Okay.
You did it last time.
I did.
Don't roll a 6. You're not going to roll a 6. You can't. Lightning doesn't strike twice. So you rolled a 5. You're
That's
fine.
better.
Now, with this small footprint, with the captain fallen, calling out for aid for Dante, for reinforcement, can you hang in there for just a couple more turns? Let's find out in Blood Angels turn 4. Here we are after the Blood Angels movement phase in turn 4. Lieutenant Furio has command of the field. The Apothecary fell back from combat, desperately healed him, and he's back up to full wounds, and it looks like he's meaning to charge a Tyrannid Hive Tyrant. They are all now falling back towards the core of the installation here. We've got some Stalker pattern bolt rifles up there. The second team have got down and ran round the back for some reason. And the Death Company and the Judicar are coming this way. I've got no CP, I've spent them all. So I can't overwatch with the Acid Spray of Doom. There's 2 Inferno Pistols there, and 2 Power Fists there, and the Assault Doctrine is in effect, so they're AP -4 Power Fists. This could be the one chance to take out the Tyrannofex. And you said that's their duty, right, is to die gloriously.
Their duty is to die.
To
earn the death they have so rightfully should be given in glorious combat.
Yes. So if they die this day, then they have done their duty and they have done it well. That's why they are the Death Company. Let's go on to the shooting phase. So we're starting here. 2 Inferno Pistols and a crack grenade. Point blank range.
Inferno Pistols.
1
One
hit.
hit. So it's not going to be an insta-kill.
No. Force to wound. It does wound. I don't get a save. D6 plus 2 damage. Wow. 7 damage. It's more than half dead already. Then you chuck a grenade at it. He's got 5 left and miss. Judicar, pistol, grenade.
Yeah, go for a crack grenade.
Okay. And he hits. He needs a 5 to wound. It doesn't wound. Okay, so explosions and Inferno pistols go off here, injuring the T-Fex. Now we come across here. We've got 3 bolt pistols in combat at the Hive Tyrant. And 2 of them hit. And it'll be 5s to wound. And they're re-rolling 1s because the lieutenant goes, no, aim for the head. And they miss the head. Then Stalker pattern bolt fire down into the warriors, covering the retreat of the heroes. 2 of the warriors go down. That is the end of the shooting phase. There's precious little assets left. And then the lieutenant went charging in, along with the Judicar and the Death Company. 2 models, 10 attacks with a Power Fist into a Tyrannofex, hitting on 4s. 6 hits. And they're going to be wounding on 3s, and I won't get a save. And yes, well, no save. 2 damage each. That's 10 wounds. You wipe it out, and it death throws. Yes. And when it dies, it only does 1 mortal wound to the Death Company. Death Company clear their target away. They don't shrug the wound as the Tyrannofex lashes out, and they pile into the Termagants. Now we have the Judicar fighting the Tervagon. 6 attacks. 2s to hit.
He
hits
all the time.
Every time. He will be wounding on... It's strength 7, but he's wounding on 4s because of Blood Angel. And he wounds... 3 times? It's -3, 2 damage. Or -3, 3 damage. I need 6s. I make 2 6s. 4. Is it -4? Oh yeah, because the Assault Doctrine. I won't get a save. And it's 2 damage a time. So that Tervagon is on 3 wounds left. Now we have Lieutenant Furio. Is he the hero that Gotham needs?
He is.
Or is he just the hero that Gotham deserves?
He's going to do it.
2s to hit with his sword.
He has to do it.
He has to do it. Good luck. That was 3 1s there. Yeah. 4s to wound. Master Crafted Power Sword. 4 wounds. 3 wounds.
3 wounds.
Invulnerable saves. I fail 2. It's 2 damage each.
Yeah, 2 damage each.
2 wounds left. Catalyst.
You'll do it.
The Tyrannid Prime falls. He only catalysts 2 of them. He falls, and as he falls, he lashes out, but doesn't hurt anyone. Lieutenant just imagine him falling and trying to catch him, and he cuts off 1 limb, cuts off another limb, and drives the sword through his skull.
Yes.
And that's the end of the combats over here. I fought back with the little bugs here, hitting on 4s, winning on 5s, no damage. Now I'm going to fight back with the Trigon against the Judicar. I'm hitting on 5s. I always have 3 attacks. I hit twice. I'm wounding on 3s. And they're AP -3 D6 damage a time. Does he have an invulnerable save like a regular chaplain?
I don't think he does.
Or is he just a chaplain wannabe?
I think he's just a wannabe.
He does have a 4-up invulnerable save. Against melee attacks only though. So 2 4-up invulnerable saves.
He will live.
Battling this monster.
He lives.
He makes them both. Have it at you, sir. And that is the end of Blood Angels turn 4. Some heroic stuff going on here. Some last-ditch efforts. We have Weapon Beasts falling. We have the Hive Tyrant falling. We have the Blood Angels falling back towards the core of the installation, desperately calling for aid as we head on to Tyranids turn 5. In the movement phase, the gun beasts in the backfield stand still firing down and down and down into the compound, whereas the warriors push forward. And then round here, my Trigon stayed in close combat with the Judicar. I need to kill him. He can't make every 4-up invulnerable save, right? And these creatures move round, the brain bugs, the smite bomb, ready to kill the Death Company. In the psychic phase, the Death Company crumple, and then I tried to smite the Judicar, and it didn't work. His mind, his will is too strong. So now we need to shoot some guns. There's a monster in close combat. Maybe I can kill him in close combat. Will I sting us out? What? I'm shooting
You're shooting?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Hit you twice. I wound him twice. 2 4-up saves. Tickle him a bit.
He's going to do it.
He's not going to do it.
Yes, he does do it.
He does do it. Damn it.
This is where I've been saving all my 5s and 6s for this moment.
Okay, I've got 1 CP back. I'm going to have to shoot everything from the Hive Guard, the Rupture Cannon, the Warriors down here into this mess. Then shots rippled out, and it wasn't great. Lots of misses happened. I've killed the Apothecary. I've wiped out the unit of Intercessors. I was hoping to clear them away so I could shoot past and hit the Lieutenant down there. But honestly, these guys aren't in range. The Rupture Cannon can't see him. Yeah. So I've cleared away more and more and more troops. That's it for the shooting phase. We're now on to the fight phase. The Judicar can strike first. I need to charge though. Let's see if that warrior can make you a lieutenant. That warrior can't make you a lieutenant. So the Judicar can fight first with his 4 attacks. Now he hasn't charged. He'll hit on 2s. He hits twice. He's injured. He isn't injured. He hasn't taken any wounds.
He's just loving it.
He'll wound on 5s now because he didn't charge.
5 and 6. There's 1 wound.
At AP -4.
Still -4.
2 damage. The Trigon's on 1 wound left. The Trigon will fight back. And when I say Trigon, I mean Tervagon. Always got 3 attacks. I need 5s to hit. I hit you once.
Oh dear.
I wound you once. 4 up invulnerable save or take D6 damage, Mr. Judicar.
4 up.
And he makes it again.
He does.
And interestingly, that is the end of Tyrannid's turn 5. And I don't get a turn 6.
Yes.
So in 5 turns, I haven't been able to clear the battle grid. You can fight back. You can fight back hard. But this is the way the world ends. With 10 intercessors left in total, Lieutenant Furio and this Judicar, who's just earned himself a name.
He will definitely be getting a name.
You have managed to defend the Western Reaches and Installation 2-1-2 against 5 turns of Tyrannid attacks. Dante has heard the calls. This site is worth saving. There are assets here worth rescuing. At the end of this game, in fact, I've only got two Tyrannid bio creatures inside the compound. The rest of my stuff is all out here. I've still got some assets left. I've still got quite a strength of assets left, but let's face it, it's going to take a long time for these guys to get anywhere in there, and you can just get behind the installation. These guys have only got 24-inch range, the warriors, so you can outmaneuver them as well. These are a problem. But again, the range of the smite isn't that great either. I think you did a good job.
I think we just about did it.
By the skin of your teeth.
We did. And I did believe throughout the whole thing. I was wavering there.
You were wavering.
In turn 3,
yes,
I thought it was all over.
Right.
But we've made some crucial saves. The Judicia is an absolute weapon.
Yeah.
And I think he would claim that Tervagon's head.
I think if we went on another round of combat, he is going to have the Tervagon's head, just like Lieutenant Furio has got himself a Hive Tyrant's head. Yes, Mephiston fell and it fell, and your captain here fell as well, but your captain took so much firepower before he fell over. He just tanked and tanked and tanked. He led for as long as he could lead, but victory condition for me was to kill all the biomass here, to wipe out everything from this site. I had over 1,000 more points than you to start with. Your victory condition was just survive.
Just live.
Survive the devastation of Baal. And you have. Well, that was absolutely glorious. I want to make it absolutely clear as well that this was your idea.
It was my idea.
You said, I'll bring a demi company plus some stuff, bring all the pain and try and kill me. Let's do Devastation of Baal. That's why we made some narrative decisions. I mean, what would you do differently if you had the opportunity to play this again? Or what could have you done differently?
Narratively, I don't think anything.
Right.
I think there's an argument to be made that all the Death Company could have come out of here, and you could have called it the Tower of Amareo, which is the big one on the Arx Angelicum, but that's 100 miles away. So
right.
Arguably, because you could lock them all up in the tower and then just unleash the doors.
Yes.
Narratively, honestly, I think maybe bringing some bigger guns.
Yeah. But I liked your list.
Yeah,
It was a good demi-company list. And like competitively, you could have put everything in the middle over there.
Yes.
To make it as far as possible away for me to get to.
Yeah, so the gamey thing to do would have been to kind of, because you were coming off from there and there, would have been to kind of crowd around this kind of area here.
Yeah.
And then just be like, yeah, go on then, walk the
play the narrative and bubble wrap it up really tough. Like, I mean, I could have done single-minded annihilation. There's a couple of other cheesy things that I know that I could have done as well, but I was trying to play the narrative. I mean, I was trying to play. I didn't bring my 12 zoanthropes, which are my favourite unit.
I think my favourite part actually was Barbuda taking all that firepower.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was extremely fluffy. That just like the thin red line in front of him collapsed,
Yeah.
and then this wealth of firepower just came through that gap in the line.
Yeah.
And he took it because he's a Blood Angels captain.
Yeah.
They're all about the self-sacrifice. In my mind, he kind of pushed the apothecary out of the way.
That's true.
All
Yeah.
that precious gene seed, and then took the firepower. But then, as they are Space Marines, they still held the thirst in check. They closed ranks, protected their lord, got him back on his feet. And so, yeah, that for me was probably
Glorious.
Yeah, it's those little moments, isn't it? Nothing I would have done differently.
Good. Yeah. Anti-tank rounds come through, and he's like, stand aside.
Yeah.
And he's battling, and Mephiston is here trying to hold up. The Sanguinor appears for this glorious moment. Maybe, that's narrative reason. Maybe that's why not only did you defend this site, and Dante's receiving comms and calls from all over Baal during the cleansing of Baal. On this particular site, the Sanguinor chose to appear.
Yes.
So Lieutenant Furio defended it. Mephiston was injured in combat. The captain was injured in combat. And Dante says, no, we must not let that site fall.
Yes.
The Sanguinor appeared here. So
it's clearly important. Or someone here is fated to do something important.
Exactly. Maybe it's the Judicar.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. Or Furio. Or even Barbuta himself.
Or in Barbuta himself. So you did defend this site. It was a glorious, lovely narrative game. We hope you guys enjoyed that. GameMat.eu here. War Hipster YouTube channel. Check out for all your painting needs. The best painting needs in the West.
Yes.
Or the East, or the North, or the South.
Can I take that?
Can you take what?
Like that? Can I use that as the tagline?
You can use that. Yes, the best paint for painting needs and for lollipops. He also sells lollipops.
Yeah, I do now.
He does now. Yeah, hit up War Hipster for all the lovely lollipops that he sells as well. We hope you enjoyed watching that battle report. That was absolutely glorious. Happy wargaming.